Two coaching legends and their squads are set to clash in the football capital of North Carolina. It's the Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals game, presented by Roan Law on My 48. Spencer Turkin alongside my partner, Mark Covert. Two big-time coaches in this one that have been together for years. But tonight, the story is about the young guys, especially Eastern Alamance running back Tyreek Samuel. The sophomore has been high-flying this season.
Yeah, he's been the engine early in this young season. He's going to be a big part of what they do here tonight. Him and Joshua Murray in the backfield. If Reedsville wants to come away with a win, they've got to get those guys on the ground.
They certainly do. And the Rams had trouble against the rush offense down in Greensboro against Page a couple of weeks ago. Mark, how do the Rams rebound on the defensive side of things to try and contain this rushing attack?
Well, it's about going back to your fundamentals, and starts with tackling. If they're effective in tackling, bringing those guys down with the first player or the second player, bring them down before they get a lot of yards, that's going to be paramount for a win here tonight.
Well, these two coaches, Jimmy Teague and John Kirby, have known each other, well, really, since before all the guys on the field were even born. And the third member of our team, Rebecca Fiorentino, she's got that story.
Thanks so much, guys. Well, longevity isn't something you see too often in the coaching ranks these days, yet both of these coaches have seen long stints in their respective programs, and it all dates back to 1985, when then John Kirby got his first job as a coach at Eastern Alamance when Jimmy Teague hired him. Well, Teague left in 1992 to come right here to Reedsville, and the rest is history. There's been plenty of friendly competition, a rich tradition in coaching. We're going to see a little bit of competition, friendly competition on the field today. Guys?
Thanks, Rebecca. It's Eastern Alamance and Reedsville. It's coming up next, the Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals game, presented by Roan Law, right here on My 48. Hall of Fame night here in Reedsville, North Carolina at Community Stadium as the Reedsville Rams and the Eastern Alamance Eagles get set to clash at 7:36 p.m. It's time now to get your keys to the game here on My 48. Mark, fly Eagles fly, right? Except on the ground.
Yeah, keep it on the ground tonight. Again, Samuel and Murray are those guys that lead this offense. Allow them to get to work early and often. And then you got to have solid play in your defensive backfield tonight. Had some issues with that last week against Northern Guilford. They have to shore that up against this Reedsville offense. And speaking of the Rams, value each possession here tonight. You're going against an offense that likes to run the ball. The clock's going to move faster. Make sure you're valuing the possessions then you got to change the line of scrimmage. Move that big offensive line for Eastern Alamance back and change the game.
And Mark, let's get a look at the players to watch in this one. Both squads have some high-flying guys. You take a look at that backfield for Reedsville, and of course you have Quayshawn Flippin, and then you look at Tyreek Samuel there for Eastern Alamance. We've continued to speak about the sophomore here all night, and we are expecting a show. He's on pace for over 2,100 yards this season on the ground. That is a tremendous feat for an underclassman.
Yeah, as a sophomore, right? He's got a lot of potential, as we've seen it so far in this early season, and really Flippin on the other side is the other playmaker, probably the best receiver on this squad.
You see Quayshawn Flippin back deep to receive. Sawyer, the junior, will go ahead and kick this one off. A beautiful night in Reedsville, and we are underway with the pooch kick. The fair catch is signaled, and the Rams will begin their first drive of the night from the 31.
Safe little catch there to start this one. Get good field position to start your first drive. Let's see if they are going to capitalize early on.
Let's get a look at the Cook Rentals starting lineups. This offensive line is going to have to provide time to Al Lee in order for him to distribute the football.
Absolutely, and he can do it as long as they allow him to have time and give him the protection he needs.
Lee looking, tries to find Flippin, and that will fall incomplete. Those were your Cook Rentals starting lineups for the Reedsville Rams offense. Cook Rentals renting the smart way to get things done.
Just a little bit too fast that time. Receiver couldn't catch up to that one. And Gage Parsons, the free safety on that defense for Eastern Alamance, almost capitalized and got a pick.
Lee this season completing 57% of his passes. Weiderman, the motion man. He'll take the handoff up the middle, bottled up almost immediately by that front four of the Eagles.
So as much as we kind of looked at this offense of Eastern Alamance and thought they were really good at running the football, Reedsville's the opposite.
And here are your Cook Rental starters for the Eagles on defense. Peyton Wright, he is the man that gets the job done most of the time at the linebacker spot for John Kirby.
Big time tackling machine, sideline to sideline type of player.
See him in the middle of your screen. Lee dropping back, fires, and that one is complete to Johnson. Some yardage after the catch, and that is a Crescent Ford first down for the first time tonight for the Reedsville Rams.
So right there, just a really nice play call, and that was a great pitch and catch. But the play call was really the thing that set it up. Post route down the middle of the field. No one was there, found a soft spot right in that zone defense for Eastern Alamance.
Ride to the game in style with a new F-150 from Crescent Ford of High Point. And now the offense is cooking for the Rams into Eagle territory. Delayed handoff to Red. And he will not go down, but forward progress was halted.
Running right up the middle, that's obviously territory a little more dangerous in the middle of that defense. I already talked about how Wright is the man in the middle there, manning in between the tackles. He can make those plays, shed blockers, and get to the ball carrier.
It'll bring up 2nd and 9. Red only had 3 carries against Rockingham County last week. Had 21 yards and a touchdown. Lee throws that one into the end zone, and that one is complete to his #1 target, Quayshawn Flippin, and the Rams strike first at home.
That right there was just a go route. A beautiful pitch and catch that time, and too easy, just down the field. Flippin ran right by the man guarding him on his way to the first touchdown of this game. A very efficient and quick opening possession.
Some swinging gate action for the Rams. That one is up and through. And Reedsville, on its first drive down the field, makes it a 7-0 game. An easy little pitch and catch on the home turf. Quayshawn Flippin in for 6.
Stadium, the home team with the early lead as Eastern Alamance offense looking to take the field. Now you'll notice captain and wide receiver Anton Pugh is not on the field today. He is ruled out for tonight's game with a broken bone in his right hand. You'll see him on the sidelines with the brace protecting his pinky and ring finger. Despite the injury, I did have a chance to talk to him before the game. His spirits were high, saying it gives other receivers the chance to have a breakout game. Story there, number 11, Anton Pugh, out for the game. Guys.
Rebecca, thank you. That is a big-time loss for that Eagles offense. A lot more pressure will be focused now on the backfield, featuring Murray and Samuel as another short kick. This one is loose, and it's picked up by Reedsville. The Rams will get another chance to strike here early.
Well, I'll tell you what, the football capital of this state is getting pretty lucky here early on. Maybe not luck on that first drive, but right there, a little bit of home cooking for you. Good bounce that time, a muff kick. Just able to get under that one, and Reedsville comes up with it now within striking distance for sure.
Devin Shyrock able to come up with that one, and now Al Lee, coming off of a 5-play, 69-yard scoring drive, is back in action. A handoff up the middle to Red, breaks free, out of another tackle, he's to the 15, 10, 5, and in to the end zone. Touchdown, Reedsville.
They probably heard the intro on both sides of it, because we talk so much about Eastern Alamance's ability to run the football. We haven't seen it just yet, but my God, the start to this game for Reedsville. These Rams are off and running. An excellent run there, dunking and diving out of tackles, and Red able to find pay dirt for the second time.
So Jeremiah Red makes it a 13-0 game as the swinging gate formation for Reedsville. And we have a timeout on the field. Some personnel issues for the Rams as Logan Hammock was on to kick that one. And you know, Mark, we talked about it earlier today. Rebecca has spoken about it, but Jimmy Teague and John Kirby have been doing this for a very, very long time. Two of the most respected coaches in the region, arguably in the Southeast. And these guys just get it done.
Right. I mean, when you've been in a school, really both of them for as long as you have, Jimmy's been here at Reedsville for as long as I have been alive. Like literally as long as I've been alive. You just got to think, when you have that sort of success and you're at one place for that long, you know you've got something good, and the community really rallies behind what Jimmy Teague and this team have done over the years.
So Hammock is on for the extra point. No swinging gate this time.
Nice and simple.
Deontay Neal is the holder. And this kick is through with plenty behind it. And the Rams are up 14-0 early. I got to tell you, Mark, that's a pretty big statement from a team that was able to bounce back last week after a tough game in Greensboro against 4A Page.
And really, you know, you take on some of these early season games so that you can have that competition. So that when you go into conference play, you're more prepared for what awaits you there. But right now, they've dominated the other two games they've played, and they are off to an amazing start in this one. Eastern Alamance, though, has an electric offense in its own right. And mistakes aside, we'll finally get to see it here after they've already been doubled up on so far in this one. 14-0 in a hurry.
Well, the Rams getting it done, keeping that Eastern Alamance offense off the field, as that one is secured this time on the fair catch attempt by Coleman McGinnis. And it's time for us to get a look at the Eastern Alamance offense for the first time, presented by Cook's Rentals. Jason Ball, the quarterback, completing almost 67% of his passes. Not too shabby considering all we've been talking about are the running backs.
Yeah, I mean, a good decision maker, able to make reads correctly and effectively as well.
And now we have a whistle and a timeout taken. It'll be Reedsville, second timeout already burned.
Reedsville uses their second timeout of the half. Other Super 30 members have no podiums.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is being brought to you by Caring Hands at Caring Hands Home Health. We understand that the happiness of your loved ones is important to their overall wellness. Proud to be able to present an accessible broadcast here this evening. Like the matchup, we're going to get a chance to take a look at this high-flying Eagles offense for the first time tonight. And we've spoken about the skill guys, but how about the fellas up front? 5 across, averaging 248 pounds.
An offensive line we heard a lot about this week, their ability to dominate and manhandle across that line of scrimmage. See if they have success here early on.
The handoff goes to Murray, and he's bottled up pretty quickly, a gain of 1. As we get a look at the Reedsville Rams defense for the first time tonight, brought to you by Cook Rentals. Cook Rentals, renting the smart way to get things done. And you look at Deontay Neal, the defensive back, a freshman. A lot of comparisons to Breon Pass, who's playing basketball for NC State. Here comes Murray down the sideline into enemy territory, and he's shoved out of bounds. And would you love to be John Kirby right now? 2 running backs that you can hand the ball off to and not have a single worry.
And they're a little bit different from each other too. Thunder and Lightning would be the comparison you make here, and the Lightning just struck that play. Murray able to find a crease, make some moves, and pick up big yards.
Ball back to pass. That one is complete to Keck, and he is inside the 40 to the 39. That is good for a Crescent Ford first down. Ride to the game in style with a new F-150 from Crescent Ford of High Point.
Nice little throw and catch that time. Well executed play, a little back shoulder throw.
Ball working quickly. The delayed handoff to Murray, and he is dropped in the backfield. That was something that Reedsville struggled with at Page a couple of weeks ago, and there is Shyrock to make the stop.
You'll see it here, just off the edge, using that speed to blow by and then get around. Just a well-executed play that time, able to get to the backfield and stop it before it could really get going.
When we spoke to John Kirby, the head coach for Eastern Alamance earlier this week, he mentioned that he's okay taking only 10 seconds off the play clock to get things going. Ball scrambling, throws on the run to the end zone, and it is caught. No. Yes, they will give him the catch at the 1-yard line. Bring the chains down. It's a Crescent Ford first down for Josiah Thomas.
What a throw by Jason Ball on the run. Look at him scramble. The presence, step up in the pocket, get outside, and then throwing on the run. And he just threw a dot, and great job tracking the ball in air.
Murray across the goal line and in for 6. Touchdown, Eastern Alamance. And just like that, the Eagles are on the board.
2 drives, 2 touchdowns for Reedsville, and now an efficient drive just like that as soon as this Eastern Alamance offense sees the field. A long run, a long pass, and suitingly finishing it off with Murray crossing the goal line.
Carson Johnson on for the extra point. He puts it through, and that's 7 points on the board for the Eagles.
See right here, good push up front, but really an excellent job that time by Murray. Understanding where you're at on the field, just sticking your nose into the fray there and getting the ball across the goal line. That's what you have to do sometimes, play a little hard-nosed football, fight through some contact, and he found pay dirt.
6 plays, 74 yards to get down the field for the Eagles. And just like that, it's early, but we got a ball game again.
We might have a barn burner here tonight, Spencer. We kind of had a little bit of a feeling of that too, right? These defenses have had some struggles, East through the air and then Reedsville on the ground. So given what each team does offensively, it kind of lended itself to maybe seeing some more points scored here tonight.
Oh, here's the other thing. There are no secrets between these 2 clubs.
No.
Both coaches have shared information over the years. They work with each other to develop plays and help on defense. Everybody knows everything about everybody.
Yeah.
It is a family affair here in Reedsville tonight.
The football capital of North Carolina might be having a pretty good Friday night from an entertainment standpoint.
Wobbly pooch kick. Neal takes it. He's going to advance it across the 30. Shakes, bakes, turns upfield to the 35-40. Across midfield and down the sideline where he is shoved out of bounds. And you see just a glimpse of what makes him so special. And there's a flag on the play.
We'll check on that penalty, but Neal, very smooth on that run back that time. Made just 2 cuts and then got upfield in a hurry with a convoy of blockers. Really nice job reversing field.
Get the call from our referee tonight, Marcus Elliott. Well, it was in the vicinity of the hit. And so that'll tack on 15 yards from the spot of the foul.
Yeah, it must have just been at the very end of that play. A later flag called. But Deontay Neal, a young buck, freshman, but you said, Spencer, he's drawn comparisons to athletes here in the past and how versatile he is, not just here on the gridiron, but outside of here as well in other sports.
There's going to be a decision to make for Neal down the line. Will he play hoops? Will he stick with the pigskin? He's got some time. Screen pass to Neal. This time unable to get out of traffic, but he'll still gain 4 yards on that one.
Stop by number 7 for the Eagles.
Just kind of weaving in his way down the field, trying to pick his spot. Credit Coleman McGinnis, hustling back down the field from his spot across the offensive line to make that play from the backside.
How about the difference in pace on offense from these two squads? Reedsville taking its time, setting things up. Lee with the handoff. Red gets bottled up. The ball is on the deck, and it's picked up by Eastern Alamance. Gage Parsons scoops up the loose ball, and Eastern Alamance can now tie the game on this trip down the field.
Just got to make sure if you're running in between those tackles, you've got all those bodies in those hands flying around you. Put 2 hands on that football, cover that thing up, and make sure it's not going to be poked out at least easily. Great job by the defense of Eastern Alamance to force a turnover and get the ball back to this offense.
And here comes Jason Ball and company back out onto the field. And it'll be Murray again on the handoff. As you see the fumble, Parsons found the spinning football and was able to secure it.
Braden Warren was able to put his hat on that football too. Just a really well-placed hit.
Ball rolls out, eyes downfield, throws it in, it's picked off! Mansfield takes the ball right back and a late flag comes in.
Great read underneath. Ball did not see him sitting back in coverage that time. And Mansfield just sitting right there at the right time. Great play call to get him off into the flats. Just threw the ball right into coverage. Never saw Mansfield sitting underneath.
And there's a block in the back. But it will still be Reedsville Ram football. Aiden Mansfield, 2 games in a row now with an interception.
Something we kind of heard this week is Jason Ball's got to take care of the football here tonight. We know this is an offense for Reedsville that can put points on the board. He's got to make sure that that's got to be his last turnover here, that last costly mistake to give his team a shot to win here tonight. Even this early in the game, it means so much.
Lee back in the gun. He'll hand this one off to Jeremiah Cobb. Cobb's been battling some turf toe issues. Hasn't had as much action as he was expected to so far this season.
Only has the 10 carries so far this year, but they'll need someone else to step up at that running back spot to take some of the pressure off of Red.
Lee tucks it, runs it. He has daylight and is tracked down from behind just before the sticks. Down at the 27.
by number 53 for the Eagles.
And I got to tell you, Mark, Al Lee looks very comfortable out on the field. Jimmy Teague mentioned he might be a few steps behind from where he should have been. He's coming off some shoulder surgery earlier this season, but he tucked it, ran it, and had no problem falling on it that time.
But I have no problem with the decisiveness of it. If you're going to make a move, make that move and be decisive.
McGinnis jumped, and that'll cost Eastern Alamance 5 yards, and that will be a Crescent Ford first down. Ride to the game in style with a new F-150 from Crescent Ford of High Point. And right now, the Rams looking like they're driving the truck to the game, heading straight for the end zone.
Just got to hold your water there. That's the expression used. Don't move too soon.
Fakes the handoff, lofts this one into the air, and it's caught! Jaden McCain in for 6, his 3rd touchdown grab of the season.
I want you to watch this pass on the replay because it was a thing of beauty. Play design was beautiful. Play action, suck those linebackers up towards the line of scrimmage. Right there, you get a one-on-one matchup on the corner route into the end zone. A perfect throw from Ali. You got to respect that. The way that it was designed, the way it was executed. Jaden McCain, the beneficiary with the touchdown.
Neal with the hold, Hammock puts it through. And the Rams back up 14 with 5:22 to go in the first. Al Lee looking awfully comfortable in the pocket. He finds McCain in the end zone.
Now we have a breaking reaction for the TV. Let me remind you, tonight is the Hall of Fame game. And halftime will be
7 here, Rams with the lead. It's a family affair on the sidelines for the Reedsville Rams. Eric Teague, the son of head coach Jimmy Teague, is the offensive coordinator, handles the quarterbacks for the Rams. Eric graduated from Reedsville in 2006 and had a chance to talk with him pre-game. He said family dinners 24/7, no matter what's going on, it's always football. He says sometimes his wife and his mom may get a little mad because it's football, 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 and that family, a different dynamic that they grew up being at the field. Eric grew up being on the field, and his nickname he used to go by was Little Teague. He's trying to get away from that right now, so he's Teague 2. But Dad, as your head coach, he tries not to call him Dad. He just calls him Coach. Guys.
Listen, you know what you're marrying into when you go into the Teague family.
Yeah.
If it's not football 24/7, I really don't know what it is.
It's a different Teague family.
That's the long-lost relatives is what that is.
No, not in Reedsville, North Carolina. It's not. If you're not talking football, you're doing something wrong if you have that last name.
Thanks for that report, Rebecca. As we have a whistle and the clock is stopped.
You know, we've already touched on the longevity, obviously, of Coach Teague being here and what he's meant to this town. He just sounds like football, right?
Oh, no, he is.
I mean, he is
through and
football.
through. Here's the handoff up the middle. Samuel breaking free, and he's grabbed by his shoestring, but not before he earns himself a Crescent Ford first down at the 36-yard line.
I'll tell you right now, if this is the thunder part of thunder and lightning in that backfield, it just ain't right. Look at the way he makes moves in the hole. I mean, just juking defenders left and right.
And The Eagles right back to the line. Right to the game in style with a new F-150 from Crescent Ford of High Point. 1st and 10 from the 36. The handoff to Samuel. Off tackle, and he is able to claw his way ahead for about 4 yards.
Good effective run on 1st down. Of course, not every run's going to be a 1st down. It's not going to be a home run.
I got to tell you, with Tariq Samuel, he's averaging 11.8 yards per carry. Technically, every run is almost a 1st down.
That is fair. That is fair. And the way he's running here in the early parts of the season has been something to watch. He has been a dynamo in the backfield of Eastern Alamance. There's reasons why we've talked about him so much. The skill set and the ability are all there.
Go right back to him, and he's ahead to the 44, call it the 45, on a nice spot from the officiating crew. And I got to tell you, Mark, Tyreek Samuel does not look like a sophomore.
Just on these first couple of runs, the thing that I'm impressed the most by, we can talk about the size and how he runs and how fast out of all that stuff. The vision so far has been really what's impressed me. Even on that last play, just making a move on a defender in the backfield to pick up those extra yards.
The handoff again. Samuel, and his knee just grazed the grass. His elbow might have clipped as well. And he is up to the 48. That's good for a Crescent Ford 1st down as he continues to drive the offense towards midfield.
A solid run, and this offense is already geared up, ready to go here on 1st down.
Quickly back up to the line. Here's Murray. Tries to turn the corner, and he's able to just get himself a yard. Still shy of the 50.
You'll notice now both of those backs, Murray and Samuel, are on the field at the same time, or at least they were. Murray, you see heading to the sideline there, but that's something we were kind of expecting.
That's a new development, though, for this offense. Those two have pretty much worked exclusively solo. John Kirby said, you know what, I got 2 really good running backs, 2 who probably could start anywhere else in the state. I probably should put them on the field at the same time, and you know, that's why coach is pretty good at his job. Here's Samuel, and he is brought down in the backfield. It'll be maybe a 1/4 of a yard on forward progress.
If you're going to get after the running game of Eastern Alamance, one way to do that is to blitz. Get those guys in the backfield. There's only 5 guys up front to block on any given play, potentially 6 if you have a tight end with them, but that's only 6 guys. You bring 7 or 8, someone's going to get to the backfield and have a chance to make a play.
3rd and 9, ball scrambling. We've seen him on the move before, and that one, a little too much mustard on it and a little too tall, and that will fall to the ground incomplete and put a 4 in the box.
A little too high. Maybe a little bit too much heat, and definitely too high. It's a difficult catch to make on the sideline. The throw on the run, probably not bad, but Charlie Deacon just could not get there to make a play on that football. That's a tough one to make along the sideline. Credit the defense for Reedsville for forcing ball out to the outside of the pocket to make a throw on the run.
Anthony Saunders, the junior, on to punt this one away. We have a whistle, and the final timeout of the half is now taken by Reedsville.
God.
So all of them burned here in the 1st quarter with 2:07 to go. And did you see who was back there to receive this punt? Deontay Neal and Quayshawn Flippin. You want to talk about 2 guys who our cameramen are going to have a hard time keeping in the frame. My goodness, they've got those jet boosters.
Say good luck tracking whichever one's hanging onto the football. That's a tough assignment whichever way you look at it.
And we have a phenomenal crew here tonight.
We do.
And it's still going to be a challenge.
Yeah, we sure do. And
John Kirby told us, he said there's literal video that they watched that Flippin went out of the screen.
Yep. It's tough, man. I mean, when we're talking about the amount of athletes that Reedsville has here year in and year out for the last 30 years, as long as Coach Teague has been here, I mean, that just is one of the many testaments you can make to how successful they have been.
Saunders gets this one away. It's a high, booming kick. Neal will let it hit the ground, and it will be touched up at the 23-yard line. And of course, Mark, just a few years in there where Coach Teague stepped away from Reedsville, won at Greensboro College, as the OC, and then 2 at GW Danville High School. Came back, picked up right where he left off. 8 state championships here. 4 Jimmy Teague out of the 22 that have been won by the Rams, the most in state history. Lee looking. There's the screen. It's complete. A flag is thrown, and this one looks like it's coming back.
Right in the area of a block in the back. Take a look here, but more often than not, that's what you're going to see. The flag is thrown in that vicinity and that time in the play. There's a lot of bodies flying around that football.
There's Marcus Elliott. So this one coming back. We'll get another look.
See here, just the bubble screen out to the side. Yeah. That's a tough play to make, though. You're getting out there as an offensive lineman. That's a tough one to get out to.
That's your center, Matthew Wheel.
Yeah.
That's a tough pull. Man, that's asking a lot out of guys who are mostly going both ways.
And it wasn't a slow developing screen.
No,
I mean,
he got out there.
yeah, Lee took about 2 steps, set his feet, and then threw it out there. So that's not a slow developing play. Give him credit, but that's a tough block to make for any lineman.
1st and 23. Red takes the handoff. Up the middle, bottled up. Able to get ahead for a few. He's taken down at the 15-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd and long.
Kind of seems like right now, Eastern Alamance has to start bringing pressure with extra bodies to get after Al Lee. The running game, for the most part, outside of a long touchdown run, every other run outside of that has been for small gains to no gains. So they've got to get pressure when Al Lee has the ball in his hands.
Lee rolling out, throws this one on the run, and it is complete to Red. So Red came out of the backfield, was able to keep it off the ground, and the Rams starting to chip away at this long yardage situation.
Looks like he got his arm right under that football long enough to prevent from hitting the ground. So good job by Red to go down and make a play on that football. A little bit low throw on the run, no problem.
Hard count, and we'll get a play switch from Lee.
Gave himself a chance here too. Now back past the original line of scrimmage.
Looking, flush from the pocket. That one batted out from behind, and it'll be called an incomplete pass. And that was really the first time that we've seen Lee under pressure here tonight.
Really good play that time. I mean, as far as the defense is concerned, forcing Lee to kind of step up and hold on to that football a little bit longer. That's good coverage on the back end tonight, maybe for the first time by this defense of the Eagles, and allowing those guys up front to get home and make a play on that football. It's very close also, Spencer, to being a fumble.
Devin Shyrock is on to punt this one away. Almost blocked. McGinnis seems content to let this one hit the ground. It'll take a Ram roll, and it will go ahead and sit still at the 42. So with 3.7 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, the Eagles will be able to get one play off, even for as fast as Ball and the Eagles work. It'll still be just one play here in the first quarter.
Yeah, sometimes one play is all they need, right?
That's it.
Murray, the running back, now out there to start this drive, though.
Ball will look to the sideline for the play change. Wiley is the receiver to the short side of your screen. 2 on the play clock. Ball, the handoff. He's got Murray, turns it upfield, and he is thrown to the ground at the 47-yard line. And that'll do it for the first quarter here in Reedsville. The Rams getting the job done through the air, leading it 21-7 on Hall of Fame night in the football capital of North Carolina. Reedsville student section getting into it here as the Rams lead it 21-7 heading into the second quarter. The Spirit section tonight sponsored by the Carolina Classic Fair. Rockin', riding, live stocking. Make sure you scan the QR code on your screen right now for discount tickets to the fair over at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds. It's going to be a lot of fun, Mark. What's your favorite fair food?
Oh, man. You know what? Ain't nothing like a deep fried Oreo.
Pretty good. You know, at the fair a few years back, I had two things that were interesting. One was the fatback sandwich. That was interesting.
The what?
It's like deep fried
Well, yeah, it's fair.
pork on 2 pieces of white bread with some collard greens.
A fatback sandwich.
And then also the deep fried cheesecake.
You know, there's probably some science to that I need to look into, but it just doesn't make sense. It's like what is it? Fried ice cream?
Yeah, you know what? How about this? Next time we're on a game together in a few weeks, maybe we'll bring the deep fryer out and we'll in the booth. We'll try a couple things. We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
And it looks like we've got some discussions out on the field.
I think they're looking.
Elliott, the referee, John Kirby, did not look very happy over on the far
I
sideline.
think he's looking at the ball placement. I think that's kind of what they're looking at right now. I know, just kind of seeing where we were at as far as placement on the field at the end of the first quarter.
There's John Kirby telling him, listen, I've been around the block a couple of times. The officials tonight, Marcus Elliott is the referee, Sean Terrain, the umpire, Roger Kinley is our headline judge. Wyatt Howard and Rodney Paul will round out the crew, and they've got a little work ahead of them.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And let's head down to the sideline. Rebecca's got an update for us.
Guys, just a little delay here on officials' timeout. It's supposed to be 2nd and 6, and the chains are just a little bit backwards. So they're getting the chains figured out here, and they're headed back to the field now.
Listen, chain gang, one of the toughest jobs in football. You don't see too many people volunteering for that one. You got to keep your head on a swivel down there.
No, they don't. People don't. And if you do it once, and then you don't ever volunteer again. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. Not just the job, but you're also there right next to the action. You could get decked at any time.
And you're on the visiting sideline.
Yeah. Probably not great. But somebody's got to do it, right?
And you know now Coach Kirby's might be chirping them the rest of the night.
Just trying to work the officials a little bit, right?
It's the name of the game. The Eagles keep it on the ground. Big hit up the middle. Tamir Johnson came flying in from that free safety spot. Just laid a lick.
And Murray kept those legs moving. This right here takes that hit. They're just well-timed hit, well-placed, but turnaround, fell backwards that time. Gained the first down.
Bubble screen. This one is complete and sniffed out immediately by Reedsville as Jeremiah Red was right there. It's like you've seen that in practice a couple times.
Yeah, it really kind of play may have been thrown off a little bit by the high throw that time. Ball just takes it, goes a little bit too fast with that one, puts the ball way higher than it ever needed to be. Didn't really give that play a chance to go anywhere.
And Josiah Thomas is not a small target.
No.
6'2", 165 pounds. Here's Murray up the middle, breaks free, and he is down after the crescent forward. First down.
Love that draw play, don't they? Really don't feel like we see the draw a whole lot anymore.
And excuse me, that will put a 3 in the box. And it'll be 3rd and 4.
You don't really see that draw play a whole lot anymore. I think it's, you know, the read option and RPO and all kind of taking that out of the game, but that draw pretty effective. They run it 2 or 3 times, and they've had success with it so far.
Samuel, and now a crescent forward first down is earned with ease. Check out the newest Ford trucks at crescentford.com. Mark, you talk about that draw play. The first one we saw was a delayed draw. The second one was just straight draw. John Kirby has based this offense on that outside zone that App State runs. We're not seeing much of that right now, but that's what a good coach does, tailors the offense to the personnel.
Right, he's got his running backs running like that, just one cut and they're gone then.
Ball mishandles the snap, and he smartly heads to the turf to avoid trouble.
Honestly, that's a really good play. You take a big loss there, but that's better than turning the football over by throwing it into coverage that you just don't make that play unless you can. Good recognition. Ball just may have missed this one. Yeah, just goes right through his hands.
Not sure he was expecting it at that time.
But still, a good decision to go down with that football.
100% agree. Pistol formation. Ball throws a bullet, and it's off target. Deacon and Thomas were in between where the ball went. And that'll bring up 3rd and 20 for the Eagles. You never want to be in 3rd and long, especially double sticks.
But they do have options to throw to on the outside with some size. So if you end up going for the sticks here and taking that shot down the field, height advantage is on their side.
Ball lofts one down the seam. It is complete, and that is going to be a first down presented by Crescent Ford, and there's a flag on the play. And it'll be roughing the passer, so we'll tack on some yardage there. And all of a sudden, Eastern Alamance looked like the drive was about to be dead, and now you're in the red zone.
Really good play design that too. They had trips out to the left side of the line and able to get 2 guys going vertical. One of them broke back inside. Right there, that coverage is following those other 2 guys down the field. Really good play design on a long 3rd down.
That was one of those big targets, Josiah Thomas. Here's Samuel, breaks free out of the first contact, the second, and he finds pay dirt. Tyreek Samuel, the sophomore, will not go down. My goodness.
Yeah, that's the Thunder. Broke a couple of tackles before he actually had Jaden McCain escorting him into the end zone. McCain was just trying to punch the football out instead of maybe trying to bring Samuel to the ground, and he just took advantage.
And here's Carson Johnson, and she puts it through with ease. Now 14 of 15 on the season on PAT. She was also the Scholar Athlete earlier today. But how about Tyreek Samuel? Contact, contact. I'll use it and head across the goal line.
Hey, Jordan, we don't have anything down here yet, do we?
Closed captioning for tonight's Friday Night Rivals game is being brought to you by Caring Hands. At Caring Hands Home Health, we do our best to make your loved ones feel like they're being taken care of by family. 21-14, 9:12 to go here in the second quarter. Reedsville on top, but Eastern Alamance starting to figure it out on the ground. And Tyreek Samuel, surprise, surprise, Mark, he's the guy who found the end zone.
Just a powerful run. Not going to be denied of a touchdown that time. Just like that, we're within 7 points.
Here's Cobb. He's to the 35 and is brought down. He was the up back fielding it. Neither kicker has really tried to go deep. A lot of threats near the goal line on kickoff.
A lot of speed on the field. See Cobb kind of hobbled as he gets up there. But there's so much speed on the field. We talk about the athletes that Reedsville has. Eastern Alamance has plenty of their own too.
This game, of course, was supposed to be played last year, but COVID got in the way. Reedsville had to end up playing a conference game instead on the date, and so the anticipation has been building for a while. Reverse, here comes Flippin. He's around the corner to midfield, and he gets driven out of bounds, but there is a flag back at the 36-yard line.
Right at the line of scrimmage. And this looks right in the area of a hold. That offensive line is not moving.
Illegal procedure.
Illegal procedure against the Rams.
You guys in motion?
I didn't notice it, but it was a very slow developing play. I wonder if someone was lined up illegally or somebody was covered up. Get another look here. I didn't see it on the replay.
Unless they just meant a false start and just get a wrong signal. That would have been the only thing I could have seen.
1st and 15, play action. Lee is dropped. And it was Davion Wilson who's in there on the stop. Javante Poteet also in there.
Again, generate that pressure up front. Secondary's had troubles covering these receivers from Reedsville so far tonight. A really good way to remedy that is having a good front seven that can get pressure on the quarterback.
Lee dropping back, heaves one near the numbers. Flippin had some contact, and there was no flag on the play. That might have been a missed opportunity there.
May have been.
That's a tough one right there.
It is a tough one, but I'll tell you what, a better throw down the field maybe draws that flag. Because the ball was so close to the Reedsville sideline, they may not have thrown a flag on that one just for the sole fact that they deemed it uncatchable.
And it looks like we have a Ram down on the field. Stay tuned for the North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services halftime report. We'll have this week's scholar athletes, participating school interviews with the principals, highlights from across the country, and more. That is Tamir Johnson, who's hobbling off.
Reaching for that calf.
And that's a tough loss there. Johnson, 17.9 yards per catch this season. And he looks to be in some pain.
Wonder if it's just the cramp. It's been a pretty cool day. Honestly, the weather today has been beautiful. But early season, you still have those cramping issues. You see down the field here, a little bit of contact, but I don't know if that was enough for him to get back to the football.
On second look, I'm going to take it back. I think that Tajon Robertson did a really nice job on defense there. He gave him a little bump, but he didn't extend out those arms.
And as long as you're not extending, that's usually the thing you have to watch for on those PIs, especially offensively. You don't have that extension.
That's how you hide it, man.
Yeah, good physical play down the field without drawing the flag. That's a textbook.
Lee looking on 3rd and 17. He's flush from the pocket, tucks it, and his forward progress is halted after a gain of 1.
Really good defensive design that time. Braden Warren sitting at home as a spy on Al Lee, making sure he got outside the pocket. You see here, break contain. That pressure gets home a little bit, no one there. And as Lee breaks contain, you see him right there, Warren waiting, watching Lee the entire time. It's a really good play called not allowed, number 14 in blue, to get outside and make a play with his feet.
That linebacking core for Eastern Alamance has been awfully quiet today, Mark. We were expecting a lot out of Wright, Warren, Clary, Seagroves. If Eastern Alamance is going to get back on top at some point in this game, they are going to need those 4 guys to step up. And there is a delayed game out on the field by the punt team for Reedsville, and it looks like Jaden McCain wasn't out on the field, and there were no timeouts left for Reedsville to burn, so they had to take the delayed game to get him out there.
Talking about those linebackers, Peyton Wright has an absurd 58 tackles coming into this game. It's almost 20 a game.
A shanked punt. And it'll take a Reedsville roll to the 45. It might have been tipped.
Definitely an Eagle there flying in to try to make that play. He was close. Not sure if he got a hand on it or not.
Let's go ahead and send it down to the sidelines. The 3rd member of our crew, Rebecca Fiorentino, stands by.
Well, guys, after that Eastern Alamance touchdown previously to make it 21-14, I was over on the Reedsville Rams sidelines. The coaches say, we're good, we're fine, but we've got to tackle better. That was a big emphasis in practice this week. The guys really worked on tackling, and when you don't tackle, they had to include tackle drills in their practice, different methods, and hopefully that improved technique will have results today, guys.
Jason Ball mishandled his 2nd snap of the night, threw it away, and we've got a stoppage on the field as Cobb comes up a little bit slow for Reedsville.
Yeah, kind of looking to see if that may have been intentional grounding, definitely in the area, but I think he was deemed that the football definitely went past the line of scrimmage, but was he outside of that tackle box?
It was close, 2nd and 10 now. The handoff, Samuel will drag the defender with him for a few yards, and he is down to the 41-yard line. And Samuel comes up with a shoulder that seems to be hanging, and that is not a good sign for Tyreek Samuel.
No, it is not. See it moving around a little bit, may have just gotten a little shaken up right there, but
all goes hard count, trying to draw Reedsville off, and he's got his own team. The far wideouts, Tristan Keck and Josiah Thomas both jumped. That's always the risk when you go hard count, Mark. You might get your own guys just a little twisted.
Yeah, and that's always the part, kind of like you're saying, Spencer, where you got to be careful because you've got to make sure everyone's on the same page. They know what that snap count is. Those dummy cadences aren't to draw your other offensive players off sides. It's to fool that defense and catch them out of position.
Brings up 3rd and 11. Ball looking, throws it. And that one will go off the fingertips of Wiley and fall to the ground. And he is angry at himself. He felt like he should have had that one. And if it hits your hands, he's probably right.
If you can get 2 hands on that football, you probably should make that catch. And right there, our pass was a little high, but Wiley was able to go up there to the point, attack that football, and get 2 hands on it. Just could not corral that one. He still would have been short of the sticks, but at least catching the football, you have an opportunity to make a play and pick up the necessary yardage for a 1st down.
And here's where Reedsville can be so dangerous. Saunders will kick this one to Flippin, and he's going to give him a shot to field it. He'll let it go. Neal will watch it. It'll roll to the 11, where Eastern Alamance will stop the clock. A beautiful punt by Anthony Saunders, the junior. And that's his 2nd one in the 20 this season. 5:28 to go here in the 2nd, 21-14. Reedsville on top. We've got a 1-score game, and you know that Al Lee, the man on your screen, would love to give his team a little more breathing room.
Slowed down considerably since that 1st quarter. Only 7 points scored in the 2nd so far, so these offenses have kind of settled down a little bit. These defenses have settled in.
Quarterback keeper, Lee, is taken down after a gain of about 5. So it'll
Stopped by number 10.
be 2nd and 5 after the Peyton Wright tackle. Peyton Wright coming off an 18 tackle game against Northern Guilford. Of course, the Eagles won that one, 41-35. Tremendous game. Here's the bubble screen. Red ahead, and that should be good for a Crescent Ford first down. Check out the newest Ford trucks at crescentford.com.
Easy play design right there, almost like a run really to the outside. Just give Red a head start there, allow him to get his speed under him, alley through the ball out in front of him, allow him to catch it in a dead sprint, and good blocking on the perimeter by his wide receivers.
Jeremiah Cobb back out on the field. He's the motion man. Play action. Here's Neal. Works off the first defender. Tried to stay up and then realized he was going in the wrong direction while he was trying to scamper for a few extra yards.
I'm not sure if he meant to go down once he started running back towards his own end zone, but if he did, that's a savvy play from the freshman here. Makes one move, makes another, gets upfield, gets a few yards. Good pursuit by that Eagles defense, though, to bring Neal down, the explosive freshman in space.
He is going to be a special football player. The only problem Jimmy Teague has is that he's just as special of a basketball player.
He's got competition, right?
Stood up and sent down by Peyton Wright, and there is the Peyton Wright that we have been expecting. Now starting to call his name a little bit more. You can only hope to contain him.
I think that he made the play in a different sense because he drove back one of those linemen. You see him right there in the middle of the screen. He ducked right underneath and snared Cobb that time, snared him right in the middle of that scrum.
3rd and 5 now for the Rams. He has 10 to work with. Reedsville, no timeouts. Flat-footed, throws it, and that will fall incomplete. The intended receiver was flipping. Interesting throwing motion there. He really didn't step at all. He just tried to fire a dart, really.
I think that's one of those things where you have to kind of take a second. There was a slant route, so it's a quick developing play. You've got to get that ball out there quick. But you've got enough time to just kind of set yourself back there, set your feet up, and then fire down the field. If you don't set your feet, 9 times out of 10, you're not making the throw you want to make and putting that ball where it needs to be.
Devin Shyrock is on to pump this one away. McGinnis stands back, awaiting the kick, and there was some contact. Looked like Wright might have over-pursued, and he knows it.
You got to tone down that intensity.
And the Rams offense will head back out onto the field.
Again, you got to tone down that aggressiveness. If you're right, talked about the guy making almost 20 tackles a game, which is insane, but make sure you're smart about where you're being aggressive when you're dialing it back a little bit.
Stay tuned for the Ncdhhs halftime report. We'll have this week's Scholar athletes, participating school interviews with the principals, highlights from across the country, and more. Lee, the handoff. Cobb really had nowhere to go. And Coleman McGinnis, he has played some solid defense tonight. We've called his name a few times.
You can see him just fire off the football here around the edge. He was waiting. Nowhere to go that time. And I'll be honest, if it wasn't McGinnis, it was going to be Wright.
I was about to say, Mark, that is a really bad place to be when you're a running back. You have to choose between McGinnis and Wright who you want to get hit by. And if you don't make that choice early, you're going to get it from both of them.
Yep.
Lee dropping back, pressure on, flush from the pocket, tries to put the stiff arm on, and he is angled out of bounds, and we have a flag. I think a face mask?
I'll tell you what, it may be a face mask, and I'll be interested to see who it's on. Because the way it kind of looked from up here was Lee stuck his arm out into the face mask of the defender, bringing him down.
No indication yet from Marcus Elliott.
Kind of looks like that's what it was.
Yeah. Looks like it's going to get counted backwards. That's going to go against Lee. Wow, you don't see that too often.
No. I'll tell you what, when you grab that face mask, not so much stiff arm. You can stiff arm at the face mask, but as soon as you curl his fingers in and get a hold of it, that's a different story. You see it right there. He's flipping it the entire time. It's a good call by his officiating crew that time. And after the play, just to make sure things were all on good terms.
There is a healthy respect between these two clubs. There will not be extracurriculars in this one. Both coaches won't accept it. That I can tell you for certain. Neal, the motion man. Lee, the keeper. And he tries to steamroll the defender. It was Seagroves, and he just rolled right over him.
Really simple play design that time. Maybe just trying to chew up the clock here a little bit.
At what point do you have to make sure that you don't give Eastern Alamance the ball back too many more times?
Well, you just got to stay in your offense. I mean, we've seen plenty of big plays on both sides, especially from Reedsville here tonight. They haven't taken much of those deep shots here in the second quarter. We saw it all the time to start the game, and now they've kind of shied away from those with a more conventional approach.
Just 6 in the box for the Eagles. Lee tosses it to the side. He's got red. Tries to go up the seam, and he's tripped up and put down. Davian Wilson. And it looks like we have a timeout on the field taken by Eastern Alamance. The Eagles want to have some time to work. We'll see this drive when we come back. Friday Night Rivals on I-48. We got a ball game in Reedsville.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're participating in the Hall of Fame activities at halftime, the members being inducted, please make your way down to the track around the 30-yard line. To my left, the left of the press box. As members of the Hall of Fame class, please make your way down to the 30-yard line.
You see Tyreek Samuel on the sideline. He looks to be okay, but got to tell you, Mark, the biggest difference right now in the second quarter for Eastern Alamance, rotated into the nickel defense, and it seems to be working.
Right, they've put a few more defensive backs on the field, and this is where it kind of pays dividends. We talked about how one of the ways to cover up some rough coverage on the back end is to get pressure up front. You can do the same thing in reverse. If you get some more defensive guys back there who can cover receivers down the field, it'll allow those big guys up front to get home.
Shyrock on to punt. McGinnis to receive, and Shyrock mishandles the snap. It went over his head. He retreats to the 15, and he takes a knee, and Eastern Alamance, with 2 timeouts to work with, will have an opportunity to tie this game up before halftime, starting in the red zone.
I don't know if Shyrock knew he could still punt that football after mishandling it. As long as that football is behind the line of scrimmage, he can still punt it away after mishandling it. It's no different than throwing the football. And he had plenty of room just to reset his feet there for a second and get something off quick.
Here's ball. We'll hand it to Murray. And he is tracked down and thrown down, and now we have a flag on the play. It's gonna cost Reedsville 15.
Looked like a face mask from up here, Spencer.
You see the signal there? Yep. That's going to be 15 yards. Well, half the distance to the goal.
Right now, those mistakes are compounded. They're piling on top of each other for Reedsville. The muff handle, the punt, then not punting it away. giving the Eagles a very short field, now a face mask penalty on a successful run stop.
That'll be a crescent forward first down. Ball, play action, throws it to the end zone, and it'll go off the hands of Wiley and fall incomplete. And I get it, you have to throw the football a couple times to keep Reedsville honest. But you've got Murray in the game right now. You're sniffing the end zone. Samuel was also in. I'm probably keeping it on the ground right now.
But you know, I don't hate the play call necessarily. They got what they wanted. Ball rolls out to the right here after the play action. I thought he was going to dump it underneath, but he found Wiley out to the far side. And again, Wiley just kind of alligator armed it.
Handoff up the middle. Murray still going, dragging the pile. And forward progress has been halted at the 1. He was marked down at the 1.
Well, I don't know about that.
There might have been a little too much pushing from the offensive line, and the officiating crew decided to blow it dead. And now back to the line quickly come the Eagles. Still a couple of timeouts to work with.
Now they got time. There's still over 30 seconds left. With inside the 5-yard line, plenty of time.
Ball working from the gun. Quarterback keeper. Ball reaches for the end zone, and he crosses the plane. Give him 6. Touchdown, Eastern Alamance. There is a flag on the play. Touchdown is good.
Now I'm going to sort it out here a little bit. I wonder what they're going to call. Unless it's unsportsmanlike conduct for, I'm not sure.
Well, now the question is, do you take it on the kickoff, or do you take it on the extra point and try and go for 2 and take all the momentum into the locker room?
Okay.
As of right now, Carson Johnson is on. She has hit both of her extra point attempts so far today. McInnes to hold. Snap is down, and we have a whistle and a flag. And it's offsides on Reedsville. So now if you're John Kirby, you have a decision to make.
Well, you got those backs.
It's awfully tempting, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And you got a quarterback who just showed off his moxie by fighting for that touchdown.
He took all 6 feet of his frame and would not be denied. Johnson, this one low, but good. And Carson Johnson ties this game at 21 here late in the first half. What a ball game.
And we're not even at halftime yet. I mean, give credit to Eastern Alamance. They were down 14 early on in the first quarter and fought back here in the second. Pitch gets shut out in this quarter, and look at Murray just driving. I think they thought he was down.
Yep.
And I'm assuming that's what they were looking at, because that pile was still moving when they marked it down.
But it didn't matter, because Jason Ball said, don't worry, Josh, I got you, man. I'm going to put this team on my back and reach for the end zone. We get another look at Murray's initial attempt at pay dirt. He is so strong. Oh my gosh. Wow.
Just the way to drive. But the toughness of Ball to find the end zone still. Just by a hair. Just extending the ball out and getting across the plane. That's tough.
First deep kick of the night, and that is a touchback. And I got to tell you, Mark, if you can do that. Well, now there was some yardage on because of penalty.
But still,
that had plenty of room.
Yeah,
if you can do that, there's no need to kick it short. You can just put it in the end zone, and it's a touchback.
Be interested to kind of see what Reedsville does here.
No timeouts. Right. But the momentum has been sucked out of the sails.
Oh, it's even though we are deadlocked at 21 right here, the momentum going to halftime is squarely on the side of Eastern Alamance. The way they fought back here in the second quarter to tie this thing up, it's been something to watch.
Lee will work from the shotgun. Rolls out. Looking. Tries to set his feet. He slipped. Giving chase. It was Peyton right. And Lee felt the pressure.
Spencer,
We'll stop the clock, though.
I got to tell you, man, I'd just take it into the locker room at this point. The way that this first half has ended, it has not been advantageous for the Rams of Reedsville. They have been really kind of outplayed here in the second quarter, and especially here in the late stages of it, but out-executed. I mean, right now, the momentum is also on Eastern side, but just as much the mental game. I mean, the depth could be coming into play here as well. Some of that fatigue going into the locker room.
Here's Lee, eyes downfield, quick loft. That one is complete as McCain will angle himself out of bounds to stop the clock with 10.1 seconds to go. And that will bring up third down, it appears.
And it'll be just shy of the first down marker by about a yard.
You know, when we spoke to both coaches, they did say that depth could play a role in this game. This is what happens when you put a 2A against a 3A or a 4A. The 3As and 4As have enough guys to go one way. Here's Red, has some space to work, and he is thrown down at the 42. The clock will stop as the chains are reset.
Tell you what, there, if I was Eastern Alamance, I'm trying to hold Red up instead of bring him down. Knock some seconds off the clock right there. With 2 seconds left, you had time.
The ball was snapped and spiked down, and I think that's going to be the half. We are deadlocked at 21 here in Reedsville. As we get set for what should be an absolutely epic half of football. After a trip to the locker room, let's go ahead and send it down. Rebecca Fiorentino is with Jimmy Teague.
Thanks, guys. Well, 2 quick touchdowns to open up the game. We're tied here now going into the half. What changed?
We started making mistakes. I mean, we were behind the chains a bunch there in the second quarter. You know, when you get second and long, it's hard to get first downs, and so we got to eliminate the mistakes.
What's going to be your point of emphasis here at the break to tell your guys coming into the second half?
It's 0-0. We got to go play. You know, we got to play 2 sound quarters of football, and then the best team will win.
All right, Coach, best of luck. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, coming up at the half, it's the Ncdhhs halftime report. Stay with us. It's 21-21 here at Community Stadium.
Throughout the 2022 Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals season, Bojangles will recognize an exceptional senior student athlete from each participating school with a plaque presentation prior to each game. This week's Bojangles Scholar athletes are from Reedsville High School. Reedsville's Ncdhhs is a 3-sport varsity athlete playing football, basketball, basketball and baseball. He's on the National Honor Society, was a junior marshal, and is on the student council. Landon volunteers at Rockingham Teen Court and holds a 4.174 GPA. Next year, he plans to attend the University of North Carolina to study law. And from Eastern Alamance High School, Carson Johnson is also a three-sport athlete playing softball, soccer, and has been a place kicker for the Eagles all 4 years. She is also all-conference in all 3 sports. Carson was also junior marshal on the student council and is a member of Mu Alpha Theta. She currently holds a 4.571 GPA. Landon, Carson, and other nominated students are also eligible to win a $5,000 scholarship to be presented at the end of the season, courtesy of Bojangles. Bojangles proudly gives back to our community and is honored to be the sponsor of the Friday Night Rivals Scholar Athlete Award.
Welcome back to Community Stadium. Rebecca Fiorentino here for our Ncdhhs halftime report. I'm joined now by a first-timer, new principal for Eastern Alamance. We've got Whitney Fleeman here in the house. And first of all, I got to ask the tough questions first.
Okay.
How proud are you to be an Eagle with this team as a first-time principal?
Oh, I'm so proud. It's so exciting. Friday night football is live and hopping every night with the Eagles, so very exciting start to our year.
School just started, but for you, what's been your impression so far as a principal?
So I'm really excited to be part of the Mebane community in Eastern Alamance. Super supportive. Our kids are motivated, driven, and compassionate, so I'm very proud to serve as their principal.
You mentioned the Mebane community and being in there. Really, what makes them so special to be able to be so tight-knit and support each other and all these student athletes as well?
Our community shows up for us every day. We brought a pretty good visitor section tonight, but they show up to school, they bring food, they provide resources and financial support. So Mebane's a really special place, very unique.
And for you as a first-time principal at Eastern Alamance, what are some of your goals just for this year and years to come?
So I have a lot of goals, but ultimately we want our young people to leave us prepared with the skills and tools to pursue their passions, whatever that is after high school.
And finally, you know, any other exciting news taking place in Mebane?
Absolutely. So last year, Eastern Alamance exceeded growth, and we increased our school report card grade by a letter. So we're excited. We're excelling academically, and we're thriving athletically and culturally. So we're excited.
Scholar athletes. Well, hey, I think you did pretty good for your first interview.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Well, when we come back, we've got the principal for Reedsville Rams as well. Stay with us. You don't want to miss this.
Wake Forest. Accompanying William tonight is his wife, Holly, and son, Nathan. Congratulations, William Clark. Next is from the Golden Lines, recognizing Ncdhhs, the class of 1964. Danny played for the state championship 1963 team. He was the MVP in 1963. One fact about Danny, he broke his jaw early in the season against Thomasville, but he never missed a game. Accompanying Danny tonight is his wife and 2 children, 1 granddaughter. Congratulations, Danny. Danny Shree. Also from the Golden Line era, David Amos, class of 1955. David Amos was a part of the class of 1955. He was honorable mention All-State in 1954. He played left end on offense and defense as a starter for 3 years. Accompanying to David tonight are his 2 daughters and a son, and probably grandchildren, I'm not sure. And a sister, David Amos, class of 1955.
Welcome back to our halftime report, 21-21 here at the half. I'm now joined by Erica Blackwood. Thank you so much for being with us. Our principal, 2 years at Reedsville. A lot of Ram pride in the house. What's your thoughts and what does that mean to you to have all that Ram pride surrounding us here tonight?
Yeah, well, our students and our community, they're very proud to be in support of Reedsville, not only on the field, but also in the classroom. We have so many programs that are sponsored by the community. It's pride through the community, it's pride on the field, and it's pride every day with our students as they learn.
Well, it is the football capital of North Carolina right here in Reedsville. What's your hopes for on the field and off the field?
Could you say it again? I didn't hear you.
It is the football capital of North Carolina. As we at halftime right now, we're honoring the Hall of Fame class. But what is your hope for not only on the field but off of the field as well this school year?
Oh yes, my hopes is that our students will do their very best on the field, off the field, leave it all there, and going to be the young men and young ladies that we know that they can be.
And then for you, we got to ask, what are some other teams that you follow, not just the Rams?
Okay, well, when I'm not supporting our blue and gold Rams, I'm supporting the black and gold Pittsburgh Steelers. And we are hoping for ring 23 this year for the Rams. Ring 23.
Oh, an NFL season just started, so I don't know if I can cheer for the black and gold, but I'll keep an eye on them.
I think you can. If you try, you can do it.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and good luck with your Rams.
All right, thank you.
It is now time for our Ncdhhs sponsored video. Stay with us.
The Novovax vaccine against COVID-19 is a new 2-dose vaccine that's available to any adult age 18 and up who hasn't yet been vaccinated. This means that there is another safe, effective, and free option for any adult out there who still hasn't been vaccinated. You now have another option to choose from. COVID-19 vaccine boosters are now recommended for anyone ages 5 and up. The boosters really strengthen that protection that we got with our first set of vaccines. Folks can find a place to get their COVID-19 vaccine booster at myspot.nc.gov or call the number below. If you've been experiencing any symptoms of COVID-19 or have been around someone who you know has COVID-19, we encourage you to get tested. You can go and get at-home test at myspot.nc.gov/home test. You can also go to our website at myspot.nc.gov/find tests, which also includes locations for some of our free community testing sites. If you test positive for COVID-19, it's really important that you stay away from others to not spread the virus. You can go onto our website at myspot.nc.gov/find treatment to also find sites where you can get tested and treated all in one spot, and you can do that even if you have no health insurance.
Back at Community Stadium, 21-21, tied at the half. Right now, we're watching the pretzel stacking contest, hosted by the Carolina Classic Fair. Giant pretzels are one of everyone's favorite fair foods. I know they are for me. And there's so much more fun, exciting, and new foods debuting at the fair this year. The Carolina Classic Fair is entering its 140th year, and will be held at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds on September 30th through October 6th. Oh, we've got this pretzel stacking contest between Gracious and Tatiana. Who's going to be our winner? Well, at the fair, they'll be riding, rocking, livestocking with the same fair traditions that families of Northwest North Carolina have loved over the years, along with new entertainment and attractions. Beat the lines and save money on advanced sale tickets now at carolinaclassicfair.com and save up to 33% off on fair admission tickets and unlimited ride wristbands. Looks like we've got ourselves a winner. Well, the Carolina Classic Fair recently announced their concert series lineup for the fall. Monday, October 3rd is 97.1 QMG night with Rob Bass and CNC Music Factory. Tuesday, October 4th will be 93.1 The Wolf night with Nico Moon, Restless Road, and Frank Ray. And then Wednesday, October 5th will be WBFJ night with Rend Collective and Christopher Paul. The fair also welcomes returning entertainment, including the rodeo, demolition derby, local music performances at the Clock Tower stage, and so much more. Visit carolinaclassicfair.com and download their app for updates. Well, we got a winner here tonight. Thank you guys so much for participating. We'll head up to the booth now with Mark and Spencer.
I got to tell you, Rebecca, Mark, I'm willing to bet my bottom dollar tonight that I would beat both of you in the pretzel stacking contest.
I am willing to bet you that the losing contestant there was wearing a Orlando Magic jersey and is probably the only Magic fan in North Carolina. That hits a little too close to home to see us lose something else.
You're tuned in to the Ncdhhs halftime report, 21-21, Eastern Alamance and Reedsville. Mark, it has been a seesaw affair here at Community Stadium.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, probably a little mildly. I mean, the first quarter was as bananas as you will probably see all season long. Big plays aplenty for Reedsville, including scoring on their first 3 possessions.
You saw Quayshawn flipping there. Special teams blunders on both sides tonight have cost each team dearly, and really that's one of the major reasons why we're tied at 21.
Yeah, absolutely, and early on it was Reedsville capturing all the momentum, scoring on their first drive, recovering a muffed kick, and then Red touching pay dirt for their second touchdown of the evening.
And how about Jason Ball on the run? His throws have been on the money as well.
Yeah, just a gutsy performance by an offense really for Eastern Alamance that was able to kind of crawl out of a hole, especially the second quarter. You see some of the miscues they had in that first quarter that was dominated by Reedsville, but able to fight back in the second.
That is for sure. As we get a look at the first half statistics of this tied ball game. Jason Ball having a big night so far. His receivers like Josiah Thomas helping him out. But the ground game also making some moves. You see Tyreek Samuel, who left for a little bit with a shoulder injury. Appeared to just be a stinger. He's back. A couple of missed grabs, though. Trenton Wiley had a couple hit his hand. Josh Murray thought he had a touchdown.
At least a second one. Kept the feet driving in.
How about
was able
this?
to study up the short run.
Here's Jason Ball. Full extension for 6. First half stats. Eastern Alamance nearing 100 yards rushing. I got to tell you, though, that is way down from their season average, 302.6 per game. So Reedsville doing a nice job holding the Eagles in check in terms of the ground game. Both teams having some penalty problems, but the Rams, 8 penalties for 85 yards. Circle that one. That has been a major issue for Jimmy Teague's ball club.
And so many of them came in the later stages of the second quarter where this game was getting tighter. And it really allowed this team for Eastern Alamance to kind of rally around it, produce some points at the end of the first half, and we've got a tie ball game, 0-0 coming into the third quarter.
Well, here's Al Lee warming up coming off shoulder surgery after basketball season. Looks like he's not bothering him at all as we head back down to the field. Rebecca Fiorentino standing by with Eastern Alamance head coach John Kirby.
Well, Coach, Reedsville came out with a hot start. You guys able to tie it up in the second quarter. What were you guys able to do to claw your way back?
You know, special teams, they play keep away the first couple of times. They throw a couple long passes. Special teams, we gave up the fumble on the special team, and then we roughed and gave them good field position. And, you know, we've done some things in the first half that we haven't done all year long, and we turned the ball over. And, you know, we feel like we didn't play well, but we played. Our kids didn't give up. They came back. They played hard, and we know that it's going to take something else is going to happen in this game. How we respond is going to determine the outcome of the game. And, you know, they're an explosive football team, and they're going to make big plays. We just got to respond to it.
Any adjustments you'd like to see offensively, defensively from your team in the second half?
We just got to take care of the football, and we haven't done that in the first half, so hopefully in the second half we will.
All right, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, coming up, we've got halftime. We've got our halftime coming up. 21-21 here. Stay tuned for the second half coming from Community Stadium.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is being brought to you by Caring Hands. Caring Hands Home Health, hands-on, compassionate care available around the clock, providing an inclusive experience for tonight's ball game. 21-21 Eastern Alamance and Reedsville. You see John Kirby's Eagles. He's got to be feeling pretty good about his team right now. As you see the Rams on to kick this one away. Eastern Alamance coming out of the locker room with all the momentum. And it'll be a pooch kick. Fielded by McGinnis. Not cleanly. He falls on top of it and is able to secure the football to give the Eagles field position at the 31-yard line. And that could have been an awfully close call. And Mark, there are those special teams blunders that both coaches mentioned.
Yeah, maybe it's just the first kickoff of each half that kind of gets the Eagles of Eastern Alamance. I mean, the first kickoff they tried to handle of the night was botched, and it led to a recovery by Reedsville. So fortunate to not have the same thing happen again.
Here's Samuel. Contact in the backfield, and his forward progress is stopped at the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second and a very long 10.
It's got to be the point of emphasis here in the second half. You see Samuel still working through that shoulder a little bit. Still a little bit tender, but that running game for Eastern Alamance has to be the point of emphasis for Eastern Alamance and Reedsville defensively. They got to key in on it. It's going to be coming down what I think to a battle in the trenches here in the second half. Who is going to be the more physical team up front?
Eastern Alamance with 3 seniors that have played together as starters since sophomore year. That handoff up the middle and good for a few. That cohesiveness, you can't teach that. That's where instinct starts to kick in, Mark.
Right, and you start to know the tendencies of the guys next to you. You got to understand that when you're talking about football and the positions, how difficult they are, you could really make a case as an offensive line, as a unit, that might be the most difficult because you have to move as one. You have to move in unison with each other, and that's a hard thing to do unless you have that chemistry.
Ball lets it fly. This one batted up, and it'll fall to the ground as Flippin tried to give himself a second opportunity on that one. And what's the #1 rule when you're a wide receiver? Never bat the ball up. You always want that thing to go down, as Josiah Thomas was guarded pretty tightly there.
Yeah. Hey, Flippin had a chance. He made a play on that football that time. Thomas, it may have just hit on him on a ricochet, popped up in the air, and unfortunately for Flippin, just kind of went right behind him, and he couldn't get locked back on the ball while it was in the air.
Saunders to punt. Neal and Flippin back deep. We have a whistle.
That's a really good first drive.
And we have some movement by the Eagles that'll back them up 5. And now the Rams with an opportunity for some strong field position. And you want to talk about 2 lightning bolts just sitting back there at the 42. A high booming kick. Flippin fields it. He's up to the 45. Flag on the field. He's into enemy territory and gets slammed down to the ground. But this one might be coming back.
I think it is. Right at the beginning of that play, just a block in the back.
And it is indeed coming back. How about that hit by Emery Solomon, too, at the end of the run?
Yeah, absolutely. See here, good punt, gets it away. Goes right to Flippin. At least you get him stuck to one side of the field, and it's right there, that little hold coming around on the side. Even trying to get a hold of, Peyton Wright.
And so now it's the Al Lee show again. Jeremiah Red is the single back in the formation. Johnson the motion man. Quick flip to the side for Red. Turns upfield quickly. He's to the 44 and gets tripped up and brought down for a Crescent Ford first down.
So kind of like the way that one was done. Instead of running the football right into the teeth of that defense, which largely has been unsuccessful tonight, get your guy out in space. Red right there, catching it on the run and able to work in space, gets a large amount of yards and allowed to move those sticks.
I really like that he turned upfield almost immediately when the pigskin hit his hand. Crescent Ford of High Point serving the Triad since 1970.
It's a smart play call to get outside of the conventional ways of running the football.
Lee looking downfield, fires. That one might have gotten tipped by McCain, and it'll fall to the grass here at Community Stadium as the stadium lights and the moonlight have started to take effect here.
I think that pass was just a little too far out in front of McCain coming across the formation on a drag route. Just not able to hit him was Ali. Unfortunately, that ball wasn't tipped up a little higher because there was a defender for the Eagles waiting there.
2nd and 10 from the 45. Lee opens up quickly. That one gets batted up by McGinnis, and it'll fall to the ground. Man, oh man. Coleman McGinnis has been all over the place tonight.
It's one of those defenders, pretty rangy. This is an athletic defense for Eastern Alamance. Is able to go sideline to sideline with so many of their guys. And when your defensive end is getting his big paws up there to knock a football down, and it gets popped into the air, you give your team a shot to make a turnover. Get a pick off the ricochet. Good job by Coleman McGinnis.
Such a heady play. 9 on the play clock. Lee sends Johnson in motion. Looks downfield, scrambles, throws on the run. That one is complete. Ncdhhs Harrison earns himself a Crescent Ford first down. Crescent Ford of High Point serving the Triad since 1970.
That play was all Ali, able to extend the play, get away from the pressure, and find a man deep downfield.
First and 10 from the 36 of the Eagles.
That is exactly what you want to see out of the top playmakers in your offense, especially at the quarterback position.
Cobb is the motion man. He'll switch sides of the formation. Play action, keeper, and McGinnis in there with the stop.
The speed around the edge has been the biggest thing that's helped out Coleman McGinnis here tonight. He is beating whichever tackle, and he's lined up on both sides of that offensive line. He has beaten those tackles to the point of attack, and he is able to turn that corner so quickly.
Lee saw that Poteet was sitting there. The door was closed on the other side. He had nowhere to go. Everybody stayed in their lane. Lee opens up quickly, finds Neal. He heads down the field and is taken to the grass and around the 33. So a gain of 4.
When you've got the amount of athletes on offense that this Reedsville team has, you're able to use those bubble screens and those swing routes a little more often because you know those guys can work effectively in space. The freshman Deontay Neal is just another one of those examples. This is an offense that's loaded with weapons. Slow second quarter, first drive of the third seems to be promising.
And we have a whistle and a flag on the field. There's some movement.
Looked like they're saying it was on flipping.
So that'll back the Rams up 5, and now 3rd and 6 becomes 3rd and 11, and that is a whole different set of circumstances, Mark.
It kind of closes down the playbook a little bit. You did a good job of getting yourself a chance on 3rd and short. Now it backs it up, or rather 3rd and medium, and now it backs it up, and that playbook shrinks down a little bit. You've got to get to the sticks.
Ncdhhs Harrison is checked in as the tight end. He has a grab on this drive. Lee mishandles the snap, picks it up, tries to make something of it. Sees some room, that door is closed quickly, and he is brought down by Wright and McGinnis. Those two have worked in tandem all evening long.
Just so impressed by the speed on this defense for Eastern Alamance, the way they're able to track the football, not just one, but 2 and 3 defenders getting to the football to make a play there. Ali just takes his eyes off the football long enough where it becomes a scramble drill. And once 10 and 7 are right there, you're not going to get away.
That is for sure. And McGinnis now, after all the plays he made on that drive defensively, he's camped out at the 10, awaiting the Shyrock punt. It's a fake. Here's Denny. He throws it, and a flag is down on the field. Peyton Wright with some contact, and that is going to keep this drive alive potentially.
That's the correct call. That is absolutely the correct call. Pass interference down the field. It's going to extend this drive right there. Sometimes you don't have to complete the pass for a fake punt to be successful. If you can draw a flag, get a penalty, and get the necessary amount of yards back in its place, that's just as good.
Mission accomplished, right? It'll still be 4th down.
Oh, they're saying it's holding.
And you know, we shouldn't have been so surprised that there was a fake punt on. That was no man's land.
Yeah.
So the Reedsville staff looks like they're a little confused as to why it's not pass interference and that they called holding instead.
I got to tell you, I'm there right there with them. I'm not sure how that's not a...
I really didn't see a tug there.
No. But regardless, now 4th down, this offense is back out on the field.
And how about Landon Denny? Comes out, gets the job done. And now it's 4th and 5 from the 31. Here's Lee, dropping back, surveying, throws this one high. Flippin has it. He's going to try to find that first down marker, and he is short. That is a turnover on downs.
Well, we're going to see here because they may take a look at that. Unless they're saying it's short, yeah, I think they are.
Reset the chains. The Eagles will fly out onto the field before the officials can change their mind.
It's a great job to fight adversity there.
21 all. We're back after this on My 48. never mind, we're going to stay here. And the first play, Murray nowhere to go and a late shove. Doesn't look like he's too happy about that.
What a great job to fight adversity right there by Eastern Alamance. You have the penalty go against you on 4th down on the fake punt attempt. Able to pull up a stop defensively and get this offense back out on the field.
Ball looking for a new play call. Mishandles the snap and he just falls right on it. We have seen more mishandled snaps in this game than I can remember all season.
Well, and Ball's had about 3 of them. And that's a big problem. He's trying to move too quickly, and they know it. They know it on the Eastern Alamance sideline that he's just trying to process everything way too quickly. And it's costing them yards right now.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 22.
I mean, he's just got to trust what's in front of him. He's got experienced linemen in front of him that can block for these backs. Just give them a chance.
Here's Murray looking for some space, and he is planted. Murray not happy about something. Felt like he should have had some sort of block in front of him, and it wasn't there. John Kirby trying to calm him down. Remind him that football's a long game.
I can respect the fire, though. I can respect the competitiveness, wanting to make a play.
No doubt.
But you're in a situation there where that's a conservative play call. That's the correct play call, really. You're deep in your own territory, in the shadow of your own goalpost, really. Just get up there, get a few yards.
Saunders gets a beautiful punt off. Neal will field it. Somehow gets out of trouble, turns upfield, and now we have enough laundry to fill up the athletics washing machine here at Reedsville. We'll see the flag from Marcus Elliott.
Both those flags were thrown relatively in the same area of each other, so 2 officials saw the same thing.
And it'll be a block in the back, and it will be first down for Reedsville when we come back. 21-all here on My 48. We're back after this Friday Night Rivals.
TV timeout. We have a break in the action after recognizing the key groups of people. First and second to recognize the Reedsville High School parent and marching band does an outstanding job for us. Give them a big round of applause. Next, I'd like to recognize our regional rescue squad located there on the left-hand side of the field around the 20-yard line. They spend their volunteer time to be at the game every Friday night. Thank you to the Regional Rescue Squad. Also like to recognize Mayor Donald Crowe standing there around the 15-yard line. Former Regional High School coach, Donald Crowe. Thanks for being there tonight.
21-all with 4:43 to go here in the third. Stay tuned. In the fourth quarter, we'll have our West Rock scoring summary. West Rock, your local leader in paper, packaging, and displays. Come join our team at jobs.westrock.com. And also coming up in the fourth quarter, stay tuned to find out who is tonight's Carolina Classic Fair player of the game. The Carolina Classic Fair at the Winston-Salem Fairgrounds, riding, rocking, live stocking.
It's the best read we have.
By
Hands
far.
down.
By far.
Hands down.
Whoever went ahead and came up with that tagline, give him a raise. Here's Flippin on the screen, out of trouble the first time, still up after second contact, and now finally brought down. If you're the Eastern Alamance Eagles, if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Yeah, absolutely, but there's a reason why we were told Flippin was potentially the best receiver on this team. You see right there the physical ability is completely there. The toughness to break tackles, not one, not two, three, before being brought down as a wide receiver. That is a special young man out on the edge.
At just 160 pounds, he plays like he's got 200 on his frame. Ground attack enabled. Good for a yard.
It's been like that really all night. Outside of one long run, there has not been much in the middle, and Red is hobbling off the field again. It's been a physical game, though. I mean, we've seen a couple of different players on both sides of the ball leave a little banged up, but most of them have come back in for the most part. But you got a rivalry like this, one that's been this intense, and the constant back and forth in this game, it generates some of those bigger hits. You're going to take those injuries.
Misdirection in the backfield. Grayson Blackwell. Check that, it'll be Cobb.
He's close. A little bit of effective run there on third down. Wasn't expecting that much, just couldn't get there. But now this offense still out on the field. Expect them to go here.
It'll be 4th and 1. Trying the hard count.
Yep.
10 to work. Lee keeps it himself, head down. Did he get it?
Man.
The initial spot says no. Let's see, though. It is awfully close.
Man.
The officials are going to stop the clock. They're going to hold the chains. There will be a measurement. Oh, this spot is huge. And it looks like there are a couple of injured players down on the field. I see Peyton Wright is down for the Eagles.
He looks like he's trying to stretch it out. That's probably a cramp. I think that might be Al Lee.
And it is Al Lee that is down. So that, you want to talk about the heart and soul of both of these teams.
Right. On those sides of the football, yeah.
But that's what kind of game this has been. Everybody's just leaving it all out on the field.
You're selling out. And again, for as beautiful of a day as it has been up here today, you'll have those kind of plays, those injuries, so to speak, the crampings early in the season. It's just inevitable. It's a part of the game. Start the season in hot weather, end it where, you know, some people down here may not preferably like it, those cold temperatures.
And now Lee is actually down near the football, so a measurement is going to have to be put on hold for a moment with 2:59 to go here in the third quarter. And this would be a major development in this game if Lee has to sit out at least a few plays.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if they pick up this first down here. You have someone else come in to not just handle the ball, but also hand the keys to the offense for at least a test drive.
Coming up in the fourth quarter, we'll highlight tonight's Roan Law play of the game. Roan Law fights and has the results to prove it. And we have had a Roan Law style fight here on the field tonight, 21 all. Punch, counter punch.
I mean, blow for blow. It's a heavyweight bout.
It certainly is. As you see, Al Lee is up. That lower body giving him some trouble. The one thing I will say, listen, you never want to see anybody banged up or injured, but right, at least it's not his shoulder area where he's had surgery before.
Right. Kind of looks like right here, at least from what we're seeing right now, that's going to be a first down by almost the length of the ball. Almost extended out here.
See, they're going to pull the chain, and it is short.
Wow.
That's going to be a turnover on downs by about 4 chains. Wow. That's the type of game it's been, though.
Yeah. I mean, definition of a game of inches, right? You got 4th and a yard, maybe less. You got to pick that up, and that Eagles defense stout up to the task on 4th down.
And now, ball will hand it off. Starting in enemy territory. Here's Samuel. He's going to keep his feet chugging, and forward progress has him at the 31. Tyreek Samuel, just an absolute monster.
My goodness. He's a sophomore?
I'm telling you.
And you got to watch it every single time. The draw play up here, good blocking, good hole right up the middle of the field there. And these defenders cannot get him on the ground. I mean, he is taking them for rides down the field.
Listen, it helps when your offensive line is as strong as Samuel's, but once he has the hole, good luck. He is ahead quickly, shot out of the cannon for a gain of 6.
And give Coach Kirby and this offensive staff credit, because while some of the play designs don't look like they're that zone read, that zone scheme, as far as the running game is concerned, it's one cut and you're upfield. And that's exactly what these running backs have been doing here tonight. They have followed that scheme to a T.
Samuel through the middle and ahead for a Crescent Ford first down. Crescent Ford of High Point serving the triad since 1970. And listen, just keep feeding the man. There is no reason to do anything else right now.
That was one of the keys, right? Feed the beasts. And this is one of them. It's 21-30 in white and green out there tonight. And right now they are working.
Back to the sophomore. Through the heart of the offensive line. And that's an easy 8 yards. Now you see why heading into tonight, he was averaging almost 12 yards per carry.
And this is where one of those big bruising backs loves to play football. In the second half, that defense is winded. They're tired. They don't want to take the hits as much as they did in the first and second quarter.
And now you have a fresh running back in Murray coming in.
So good luck.
Brutal. Murray takes it. And he's ahead for a few.
Really want to see them get Murray out into space a little bit more. You know, that inside the tackles running really works well for someone like Samuel. But with Murray, if he's going to be the lightning element of that running game, get him out into space. Let him work a little bit, because he can make those moves. We've seen it several times here tonight where he's able to make those cuts and get defenders to miss in the open field.
First and goal from the 9. Murray, he gets stood up and planted. Nicer Kelly. He laid a lick, the 6'2", 273-pound senior. He had 13 tackles at Page a couple weeks ago.
Just able to slice through the offensive line that time and get enough penetration to put a hat on Murray before he got up to full speed. Great play.
Pistol formation, second and goal. Murray cuts it towards the corner, and he is stopped just shy of the goal line. Second time tonight that's been the case.
We got a couple options here now, right? I mean, this is the play right here. You see it, Murray, the fighting, working. Look, bounces it outside. There you go. That's what we want to see. Getting outside into space and his offense getting to where it needs to go.
This is where it gets interesting. You work out of the gun, the handoff to Murray, and he is stopped very shy of that initial line of scrimmage. That's one of the downsides of working out of the shotgun deep in the red zone, because you're already giving yourself a disadvantage, backing yourself up a couple of yards. And now we're ready to head to the fourth quarter with a massive play coming up on the other side of this timeout. The Eagles knocking on the doorstep. Can they break us out of this 21-all deadlock? We'll find out after this on Friday Night Rivals. Let's recognize tonight's Scream Dreams fan of the game. There's a new haunt in town. Scream Dreams is the Triad's only world-class indoor haunted attraction. Here's the snap, the handoff to Samuel, and he is in for 6. Tyreek Samuel breaks the tie on the first play of the fourth quarter.
I'll be interested to see kind of what the conversation is here, because one official on the far side coming down the goal line spotted him short. And then the near side official said he was in.
Second touchdown of the night for the sophomore.
Wow.
That was awfully close, Mark.
I mean, real close.
Johnson splits the uprights and had plenty of room behind it. There's Samuel. Did he get in?
At the very end.
He got in right before his knee hit the ground. Here's another look.
At the very end.
A look from up top.
Just fighting to get there.
He got pulled in by Brent Wheely, the 2021 All-Conference lineman who has started since he was a sophomore. Did you see that awareness? Just yanked him down with him.
Man.
28-21, 9 seconds gone by here in the fourth, and the Boo Birds are out at Community Stadium.
I think Coach T just trying to get an explanation. Trying to get an explanation down the field for what's going on.
And that Eastern Alamance sideline is jacked up. Tyreek Samuel, he was billed up to be special. He is more than what he was portrayed to be.
Yeah.
That young man is going to be a special football player, period.
I don't think he's going to be. He's already there. Just going to be exciting to watch his development over the rest of this season and then the next 2 years.
Squib kick. Nobody's picked it up yet. Here's Neal. Turns upfield. He's got a little bit of room. Makes a move. He's ahead to the 40 and is angled out right around the 42. Wow. There is some speed on this field, and how about this development now, Mark? Al Lee is not playing quarterback. He is not ready to go. It's going to be Landon Denny, who came in on the fake punt and was able to keep that drive alive for another play last quarter.
Now, Denny's played in 2 of these games so far, only 5 for 8 on the year. So not much on the resume so far.
Johnson, the motion man, he'll take the screen, gets a block, and cannot turn it upfield. He is dropped by Gage Parsons. Parsons has really sat back on those screen plays and tried to sniff them out.
Just a really good job. We actually spotlighted him in the passing game earlier in the game. I believe it was back in the first quarter. Parsons, just a really patient play, getting out there and the closing speed to make that play in space. It was impressive.
Brings up 2nd and 8 from the Ram zone 43. Denny, a big senior, 6'4", buck 98. Drops back, looking downfield, heaves it towards the sideline. That one is complete, but an immediate hit on the outside by Aiden Seagroves. Neal was the receiver. Seagroves, one of those seniors in this defense.
Just an excellent play, coming up off the block. Watch him shed the block on the outside of here. Short pass. Fired outside, just able to shed that block and get down the field. There was no shot of completing that one.
It's 3rd and 8. Just keep in mind that Denny is on special teams a lot. There could be a quick kick situation. Just putting it out there. Here's Johnson, the motion man. Denny will drop back. Rolls out of the pocket towards the wide side of the field. Tucks it, runs it right. Tried to track him down, he cannot. And Denny earns himself a crescent forward first down. That'll keep the drive alive.
You've got to have it. You've got to have it on 3rd down. You take off running with that football, and you've got Peyton Wright breathing down your neck in pursuit. Sheds the tackle and picks up the first down. That is a big-time play.
Pressing forward of High Point, we keep you rolling as Landon Denny keeps this drive going. Denny throws on the run, completes the pass to Neal. He goes down the field to the numbers to the 30. Here's the 27, and he is knocked out of bounds. Deontay Neal, he had Flippin ahead of him, lead blocking. He just couldn't get there into the red zone.
It wasn't just Flippin. Denny was out in front of him, blocking for him. Throws the pass. Great heads-up play by Denny, firing that football before he takes off running. And then the wherewithal to get down the field and block. Watch. Right there, Neal cuts back, and you'll see 12 in blue just streaking down the field in front of him. Look at that.
The handoff to Red. And he is put down at the line of scrimmage. Peyton Wright.
That's just an aggressive tackle right there. Nothing wrong with that one. Peyton Wright grabbed him by the shoulder pads and brought him down. Legally, of course.
Davion Wilson, the nose tackle, was in there as well. Reedsville playing from behind. First time tonight. Denny over the middle. That one is incomplete. Oh, that was awfully close. Tamir Johnson mishandled it, and he is just beside himself. Landon Denny coming in here and throwing bullets.
You see it right here, good pass in that zone coverage right there. I mean, just threading the needle right there, but Johnson's got to come up with that one. I mean, there's no excuse. You've got to come down with that football right now at this point in the game.
Michael Tynan on the coverage. 9:18 to go in this one. Denny working from the shotgun. Pressure is on. Pocket collapses. He'll tuck it, and he is brought down. Peyton Wright sat there and waited for him, along with Asher Towns. And now there's a 4 in the box with about 5 to go.
I think Reedsville might be sensing something here. If they give this ball back to that offense of Eastern Alamance and they don't go down and score, that could be trouble.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts, so a much different situation than we had in the first half. Reedsville had to burn all 3 timeouts in the first quarter. 4 on the play clock. Denny has plenty of time, and he just throws it at the feet of Flippin. He totally missed his wide open receiver in Jeremiah Cobb.
I don't know if it slipped. I don't know if he just kind of knuckleballed it. I don't know if it was tipped. I don't think it was. But Flippin was right there. He just knuckleballed it. He held on to that football way too long.
I think he was surprised at how much time he had.
Yeah.
So Jason Ball is on with a chance to lead this offense down the field and try and take over this game. Josh Murray is the running back on this drive, as you see Al Lee trying to give Landon Denny some props and pull him up, let him know there's another drive to be had. Little shovel pass. Murray turns upfield, spins out of the first tackle, and is brought down at around the 30. Is Murray saying he didn't go down? He didn't look too happy with that whistle.
Kid's fighting. I mean, he's been fighting all night, grinding, churning those legs to try to pick up as many yards as he possibly can. He's playing through the whistle. He's a coach's dream from that standpoint.
3rd and 4. Eastern Alamance still working very quickly. And now you have to think, you're up by a score and an extra point. Do you start to slow down that pace?
I wouldn't say, at least not yet. 7.5 to go. There's still way too much time.
Murray wrapped up in the backfield. Tremendous pursuit by Nicer Kelly.
Kelly again slicing through the offensive line. He has shown up big time here in the second half, calling his name on several different occasions. You see a big 51 right here. just getting through and making a play. And really, it wasn't just him that time. He was assisted that time by Mansfield coming off the edge.
And this could be a dangerous situation. Saunders has had some tremendous punts tonight, but you have Flippin and Neal back there now waiting to field this thing. If I'm Saunders, I might be angling this towards the sideline.
Try to get those guys into a position where they don't have a whole lot of room to work with.
He'll roll this one in. Flippin will pick it up, lost the ball, got it back, and a whistle as his knee touched the ground.
Saying he was down.
We're going to step aside. When we come back, Reedsville will try and hang 6 on the board. We're back after this on My 48. Back with you here at Community Stadium in Reedsville, North Carolina, the football capital of the state. 22 state championships, 28 state championship game appearances. Just an unbelievable culture here in Rockingham County. Sheriff Sam Page was out at the game himself today. We ran into him beforehand. Denny rolls out, throws on the run. That one is complete to McCain. He breaks through 2 tackles. He's inside the 40. And here come the Rams. That's a Crescent Ford first down.
I love the play design to start this drive. Get Denny outside the pocket. Easy pitch and catch that time. Give McCain space to work with. Get upfield, breaks a few tackles, and picks up another first down. Just like that, they're back inside Eagle territory.
Crescent Ford of High Point, we keep you rolling. Landon Denny keeping this offense rolling on short notice, coming in and trying to make some noise. Denny, quick throw to Neal. Turns upfield immediately, and he is planted after a gain of 5. Peyton Wright starting to make some noise out there as well.
That ball was so close to being tipped, right at the line of scrimmage.
Let's head down to the 3rd member of our crew, Rebecca Fiorentino, down on the sidelines. All right, we'll keep it up here. And Denny working on 2nd and 6. Heaves one down the sideline. He's got Flippin, who hauls it in! Quayshawn Flippin puts the Rams on the doorstep.
Robertson was tracking that football the whole way down the field. He saw it, he looked back, he played it, but just mistracked it just enough that it went way too far, and Flippin was there to make the catch. Beautiful throw down the field by Denny to get that over Robertson and give Flippin a chance to make a play on the football.
1st and goal from the 2. Red into the end zone. Touchdown, Reedsville. 1-point ball game with 5:20 to go in the 4th.
Continue to fight. That's what it's going to take. Landon Denny coming in, making that throw, getting them in a position, and then Red finally hitting pay dirt again. First time since the 1st quarter. This is what we expected. This is the ball game we were thinking we were going to get walking into this stadium here tonight.
Swinging gate is closed. Neal calls for it, puts the snap down. That one's blocked! The extra point is blocked by McGinnis. Coleman McGinnis has been everywhere tonight, Mark.
Defense, offense, special teams. Third phase of the game right there. And McGinnis comes up clutch again.
1 point ball game in Reedsville. We're back after this on My 48.
Presented by Road Law, a trophy presented to the winning team.
Closed captioning for tonight's ball game is brought to you by Caring Hands. Caring Hands Home Health. Your family's needs are our top priority when they're in our care. Whoa. Whew. Mark, it's been a pretty temperate night. All of a sudden, the heat just got turned up.
I mean, you couldn't write this on a script in Hollywood tonight. The fast start by Reedsville, the comeback, and eventually the overtaking of Eastern Alamance, and now seemingly coming down the field and tying it is Reedsville before number 7 in white.
Coleman McGinnis has been unbelievable. Here's the pooch kick. It's fielded by Eastern Alamance, and the Eagles will start at their own 31 as Murray was able to take that one up a few yards. What a ball game we have had here tonight.
I mean, you can feel the difference in the energy right now. How it's just been building and building and building and wait. This home crowd waiting for Reedsville to fight back here in the second half, and they finally get that chance, and Coleman McGinnis takes a shot at them, and now this offense for Eastern Alamance has a chance to salt this one away potentially.
Fumble! Samuel falls on it. That is not the start you want to this drive, especially in a 1 point ball game on your own side of the field.
It does not take a rocket scientist to figure out what the emphasis and practice is going to be this week. Pass defense and ball security.
That is 4 mishandled snaps right there in this game for Eastern Alamance alone. Ball tosses it over the middle. That one's intercepted! Flip it! Ncdhhs came up with it, and now there's an injured Eagle on the field. What a turn of events. This game just keeps surprising you.
I mean, back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth. The pendulum just continues to swing, and right now it's anyone's game.
And we'll get another look. Ball had plenty of time.
And he thought about it once. And you saw him kind of clutch the football there. He thought about it once and still decided to take that shot. And I can get it if you feel like your receiver can make a play on it, but there was no shot. Ncdhhs had that thing smothered. Just a bad decision by Ball.
He's living up to all the hype. And how about this? Since Landon Denny has entered the game, he's 6 of 8 through the air, 78 yards, his longest pass, 32. Denny opens up, throws to Neal, looks for the double pass. He heaves it down the sideline, and it'll fall incomplete as Tamir Johnson was there, but Neal just didn't have enough mustard on it.
Whoa.
There is a flag on the play.
And I'm wondering if Neal actually ran out of bounds. One of the officials was talking to him about it. And I'm wondering if he ran out of bounds before he even got that football off. He was close to that Reedsville sideline.
That would have saved him. They're going to say ineligible man downfield.
So either way, they're taking a loss. And see, that's one of those things, if you're going to open up that bag of tricks, everyone on the field has to know what the execution is going to be. And right there, your big guys up front, that offensive line, have to know you can't go past 5 yards down the field. As soon as you go past that, it's going to draw a flag, and doesn't matter the result of the play. Could have gone for a touchdown. That thing is getting called back.
2nd and 10. The penalty was declined.
Really? Okay.
Denny sitting in the pocket, throws to Johnson. And his forward progress is stopped at the 43. And now Johnson is down after the hit after the whistle.
I know they don't like it. I know the home crowd doesn't like it, but that's just the product of a physical football game. These officials, for the most part, have let these guys play physical all night long. And the fourth quarter is not a good time to suddenly change that mindset if you haven't done it for the first 3.
Both of these squads have just been pummeling each other.
I mean, it has almost literally been blow for blow.
And now Johnson having a hard time getting off the field. He is in some pain. It will be 3rd and 7. Johnson thought he was going to be able to get off the field, but he cannot. And he's pointing to that left knee area.
Again, when you're playing these games, they're so heated, these rivalries that we will continue to see all season long. That physicality goes up a little bit. And here in a late game situation where you're fighting over 1 point, essentially, you are just trying to make a play on both sides, and sometimes things get a little twisted.
So it's 3rd and 7.
Got to get pressure here on Landon Danny. If you're that East Alamance defense, you've got to find a way to generate pressure.
Danny rolls out, pressure's on. McGinnis is right there. Flag on the play. Denny throws it, lofts it, and Flippin can't grab it. But there is a flag back at the 45. If you're John Kirby, do you go ahead and just decline this? Or do you take the yardage and back him up?
That's the interesting decision, right? I mean, how good do you feel about giving them essentially 2 more shots? Because that's what it is at this point in the ball game with 4:23 left. Reedsville's not dumb. They understand the situation, and they may not get the ball back if they decide to punt it away.
And that's exactly what's going on. John Kirby wants 4th down. He's not giving Reedsville another opportunity.
No.
This one's declined. I think that's the right move.
Yeah. Obviously, if that pass is completed, it's a different story, but obviously not comfortable enough with allowing this offense for Reedsville to get 2 more cracks at it rather than 1.
And here's what's really interesting, Mark. Shyrock is on the punt, but Landon Denny already has a fake punt to his name today, and he is on the field because he was the quarterback. 9 on the play clock. You could bury Eastern Alamance here with a good punt. And that one is short. And it will take an Eastern Alamance roll, and it is planted at the 26. So a decent field for Eastern Alamance to work with. 74 to go. 4:16 remaining. If you keep this thing on the ground, you can eat up a lot of that clock.
I don't think there's any other way to do it. I'll be honest with you, with some of the decision making that Jason Ball has had tonight, I'm keeping it on the ground here. Murray and Samuel have to be my guys.
And look at this, they're both on the field. Samuel takes the first one, and he is gang tackled. The Rams, a herd of them, over to the ball.
And they're going to catch on. They've caught on here in the second half. It has not been a great rushing night for this Eastern Alamance offense that's been so productive in the first 3 weeks. They've had moments of brightness. They've had those shots. All 4 touchdowns have come on the ground. But as far as yardage is concerned, this has not been the offense that we have seen here in the first 3 weeks.
Brings up 2nd and 10. Quick pitch. And Samuel is dropped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4. And a timeout taken by Reedsville. It'll be 3rd and 14 on the other side of this Rams timeout.
And I like the play call, honestly, because the way that they've been running, it's just been in between the tackles, in between the tackles, in between the tackles, that zone running concept. But right there, little triple option play. Fake to Murray, and then you pitch to the outside to Samuel. But another blitz by Reedsville.
Let's send it down to the sidelines. Rebecca, what do you got?
Well, Spencer, this week you asked John Kirby how he would describe his team, and he had trouble finding a word, but he came to the conclusion with relentless. Well, the team motto this year is pay the rent. They use that hashtag on social media. The weight room coach came up with that. It's been something he's been wanting to put into this team. They have to put the effort in to get the results. So this motto is going to be needed here in the final few minutes.
And this is where you make that money. Late game situations, ball over the middle, and it's intercepted by Mansfield for the 2nd time tonight. Into the red zone, go the Rams, and Reedsville is gonna have a shot here at Community Stadium to take the lead late in the 4th.
I mean, it's been the same situation all night long. The read was just bad. Ball needs to hold on to that and go somewhere else with it. I mean, even if Mansfield isn't there, that receiver that was going across the field was covered up. You'll see it here in the end zone shot. He's covered up. There's no play there. But Mansfield jumps the route and gets his 2nd pick of the night. And now Reedsville finally a chance.
And Ball made the stop on his own there to prevent the touchdown. Johnson, the motion man. He's got the ball, switches direction. And he is taken down behind the line of scrimmage, and now a flag comes in. And did you notice that Al Lee was back in as the signal caller?
And there's another Ram down.
It looked like it was Johnson who got tossed down after the whistle, and I believe that's what the flags are on the field for. So now Eastern Alamance frustrated and taking it out in the wrong way, and providing Reedsville with an even greater chance to find pay dirt.
And tonight it's been Reedsville who's been shooting themselves in the foot. Those costly penalties. And now the Eagles, that emotion that is seeping out of this game for much of the night finally gets to the Eastern Alamance sideline. You see here Johnson just reversing field after breaking the first tackle, makes one man miss. He's really able to get there. And really right there, it was pulling the legs out from under Johnson. Yep. That was what drew the flag.
So Al Lee is back out on the field. How about the job that Landon Denny did, putting Reedsville in a position
absolutely
to be in this game?
Absolutely.
Aiden Mansfield, 2 interceptions tonight.
They're missing those sticks on the far side, say 2nd down. It's supposed to be a 1st down play.
Lee hands it off. Touchdown, Reedsville, Jeremiah Cobb. Rams on top.
Easy read right there. Great hole open in the middle of the field that time by that big offensive line of Reedsville. Taking advantage of a defense of Eastern Alamance that may be a little winded here in the late stages of this game, opening up just enough. And Cobb get upfield in a hurry and find pay dirt.
And this is going to be a 2-point attempt That's what the card says. Landon Denny and Al Lee both in the formation. And a timeout is taken on the field. Both teams needed a breather.
Yeah.
2:55 to go. 33-28. And this is the right call.
No, absolutely. It's the right call. You kick a PAT here, you go up by 6.
But this is why you make the card that has every single point separation and differentiation, and you figure out what you're going to do weeks in advance, and you don't question it. You just do it.
It's a meticulous process. There are things on those sheets that you may not use the entire season, but you have them prepared for situations like this.
Cobb exploding the confetti on the sideline, getting the crowd into it. And here we go. Lee and Denny out on the field. Denny appears to be the quarterback on the play.
See Lee in the back of the formation at the top or the far side of your screen.
Denny, the little flip pass. That one is caught! Ncdhhs Harrison. 35-28. Reedsville leads it with 2:54 to go. What a ball game. What a ball game.
What a call. To go for that kind of play right there, Eastern Alamance had it sniffed out. But Harrison able to use that big frame, separate just enough to go over the top and snare that ball at the high point and come down with it for the 2-point conversion. You see it right here, Denny. A little pop pass in the big frame of Harrison getting the job done. And this crowd is juiced.
The tradition runs deep here in Reedsville. Football runs through the veins of these folks. You would think that there is no other sport.
I mean, when you go by the title of the football capital of any one state, much less one that has the history like North Carolina high school football has, you've got to be able to back it up, and they have done just that here tonight.
Eastern Alamance is going to take this one. It's Thomas, and he is near midfield, so the Eagles going to have a short field to work with.
So what do you do offensively to change the lackluster success you've had here in the second half? It's got to be about throwing the football, and they have not done that effectively here. The blitz is coming. The blitz is on for this defense. They're doing everything they can to stop that running game. Jason Ball has to beat them here.
Murray, the man behind him. Delayed handoff. Murray finds Mansfield, and Mansfield able to rip him down. Aiden Mansfield has really stepped up here over the last couple of drives.
Has he been the man's?
He's been more than that.
I mean, it's his field right now. He's making plays. He's been everywhere. The turnovers, the tackles for loss, everywhere.
Ball on the run. He gets planted and throws it away. Did he get it off in time? And was there anybody in the vicinity?
They're not going to throw it. They're saying he was outside the tackle again.
They're going to say it's an incomplete pass. He got the ball off. Wow. So it'll bring up 3rd down, 10 to go from the Eagle 49. Quads to the top, ball under pressure, throws. That one is dropped. Samuel could not hold on. You have all 3 timeouts. Do you try and bury Reedsville with a deep punt, or do you go for it here?
I mean, you've got to go for it. I don't think you have a choice right now. You've got to go for it. Samuel's worth noting only has 5 receiving yards on the year, so he's not used as a receiver. That's unknown territory for him. And in a big moment like that, he still has to make that play.
Eastern Alamance will give it a shot on 4th down.
Just drop back in coverage. The pressure doesn't need to be there.
We have a timeout taken by Reedsville. Jimmy Teague wants to talk this one over.
If I'm Reedsville, I'm dropping 7 or 8 guys. I'd say 8 guys back in coverage. Jason Ball has not been able to show me enough tonight to say that he's going to be able to make this throw and pick up this 1st down with the game on the line.
Download the ABC 45 app in your app store today. Never miss a moment of breaking news and weather, plus sports highlights right to your phone. Just search ABC 45 in your iTunes or Google Play Store. Man, oh man. Eastern Alamance has talked it over. They're ready to go. You see Jimmy Teague there, as cool as a cucumber. He's been in this situation more times than I can count.
Just drop them back down the field. Rush 3 guys, drop 8. Blanket the field in coverage.
Ball heaves one down the sideline. And
oh,
it
no
is.
No way. No way.
Picked off. Deontay Neal. A multiple interception game. That's 2 Rams with more than 2 interceptions. Though I gotta tell you, Mark, that actually isn't the worst thing that could have happened, because that ball, it was a deep one.
Yep.
It serves as a punt almost.
And you know, really, he gave his intended receiver a shot to go make a play
No
at
doubt.
that time. Thomas was in the area. Just Neal again, the savvy freshman coming back to make a play on it.
Eastern Alamance with all 3 timeouts. Lee will hand it off. Red is stopped and a timeout taken immediately.
Now look, here's the other part of this, right? You've already talked about those 3 timeouts. And I know on that sideline, Ball is thinking about what could have been right now, but this defense still has a game to play. If you stop them here on these next 3 downs, force them to punt, you still got a chance. And that's the most important part here.
But where is this offense mentally for Eastern Alamance?
Right.
That's a huge question right now.
I mean, you just got to bounce back. You got to understand, I know it's been a swinging, emotional game. This game has been back and forth, up, down, rough, right. Every single way you could imagine this game to go, it has gone. But you have to know, as an offense, that you still got a shot. And that's the part that you have to understand, is that even if you don't have any timeouts to work with by the end of this thing, if your defense goes out there, continues to fight, and brings up a 4th down where they punt away, you've got to rally around that.
Al Lee in the shotgun. Underhand toss. He's got Red. And he is put down at the 27-yard line. And another timeout is taken by Eastern Alamance. It'll bring up 3rd down.
I mean, that's just a quality play right there. They've done it a few times here in the second half with different variations of it, right? That time it was a toss. They've done a little flare route out to the side a few times to Red out of the backfield and let him work in space. It's been a solid play here for them in the second half. Gives them a 3rd and short and a chance to effectively end this football game.
This, of course, the 2nd of 3 straight road games for Eastern Alamance. Beating Northern Guilford last week, 41-35. Next up, Western Alamance on the 23rd. It is hard to win on the road. I don't care what sport, what level. Winning on the road is one of the most difficult things to do.
Yeah. I mean, it is. And when you come into a hostile environment like this one, as historic a program as this one is and as good a team as they still have this year, it's always going to be a tall task when you roll into Reedsville, North Carolina.
Both teams with 1 timeout. Johnson in motion. Lee rolls out. He's got some blockers, and he is stood up and thrown down. And that's the final timeout taken.
I mean, just nowhere to go.
Eastern Alamance down to no timeouts.
And to be honest, that's probably the best play they can make. Instead of Al Lee forcing that ball into coverage and maybe it's intercepted here late in the game, just do it, have them waste a timeout.
Yes, but more importantly, he didn't go out of bounds.
Exactly.
He forced Eastern Alamance to use that last timeout.
And that's the thing, because even if you throw the football there and it's not a turnover and it's not a catch, it's an incomplete pass.
Well, now you have some real decisions to make, because Devin Shyrock is your punter, and he is averaging right around 20 yards per punt.
Right.
So what do you do here?
Well, I mean, if he's your punter, he's still got to be your guy. And you just got to believe in what he's able to do. If you have him back there as the punter for this team, before it goes out there to the field, just let him know, hey, we got to have this one.
Coming into tonight, he was averaging 36 yards per punt. He's had a few short ones tonight.
Yep.
That's been the problem. And he is awfully close to that end zone.
It's already been one mishandled punt tonight as well.
Clean snap, beautiful kick, his best of the night. And that is going to take a Reedsville roll to the 43-yard line. They'll call it the 42.
Your defense did the job. It did exactly what it needed to do. Now, can you get over your own demons? Fight back against them from what you've seen here in the second half and lead your team down the field on a scoring drive.
Ball looking, has plenty of time. On the run, throws, and that one is complete. Trenton Wiley, who's dropped a few balls here tonight, was able to keep a toe in bounds.
I'm not sure how he was able to hold on to that one. Ball rolling out, putting it where only Wiley could go get it.
And he did. He kept his foot in bounds. What a grab.
That's a catch.
That is a Crescent Ford first down, keeping this team rolling. Thomas, the motion man. Ball looking, throws a bullet. That one falls incomplete. Clock is stopped.
Yep, not the worst thing.
And Thomas goes down. It looks like he's got a cramp. Josiah Thomas, the 6'2 senior, who has been phenomenal tonight. That is a big-time loss here down the stretch.
Just one of those untimely circumstances, right? Because you're looking at it, and he's not only a big-time playmaker, but with the game on the line, he may not be on the field completely. Just looks like another cramp. We've seen so many of those here tonight, of course.
Still somewhat early in the season.
Got to get that pickle juice out there on the field.
Keep in mind, this was a short week for Eastern Alamance. Yep. They did not practice on Monday. Went long Tuesday and Wednesday.
So you got to make up time for it somewhere, right? You know, you can have those long practices, but it's still not another day. Now, Coach Kirby told us earlier in the week, of course, that he decided to take that Labor Day holiday off for the team, because just in years past, so many kids just haven't been able to be there. So instead of fighting it, just go with it.
And it's a long season.
It is. You have an opportunity to give these kids a break, mentally and physically.
Ball, play action. Oh man, he's camped out back there. On the run.
He threw the football out of bounds.
And that'll put a 3 in the box.
Joshua Murray, at the very end of that play, was streaking down the field behind the coverage. I mean, there was not a Ram within 10 to 15 yards of him.
With 1:06 to go here, it's 3rd and 10. This is 4-down territory. Ball. And now we have movement against Eastern Alamance. And those are the types of things that you can't do when you're trying to make a comeback. And John Kirby knows it.
And for as big as 50 or 5 yards can be, 15 yards is bigger, and that's what you're looking at now instead of 10. To keep the drive alive, 3rd down, so obviously 2-down territory at this point in the game.
Empty set, ball will spread the wings of the Eagles. Under pressure, and he has to take a sack. Ncdhhs led the charge for the Rams.
Catches the 2-point conversion and now comes up with a clutch sack here in the late stages of this one. Ncdhhs showing up big time for Reedsville.
And the clock is running.
Yes.
Ball looking deep, throws it towards the sideline, and that one is incomplete, and a flag on the play. Flipping with the shove. And the ball wasn't really playable. That's a tough break. It'll still remain 4th down.
Yes, but it'll be a lot closer. High school doesn't have the automatic 1st down rule for pass interference. Take a look here, see where that ball was.
Ball looking.
Firing down the field. That's not catchable.
It wasn't catchable.
That's not catchable. That shouldn't be PI. We saw it earlier in the game with Flippin himself.
But you know what? In that situation, you just let it go.
Let it go,
because
right.
you don't even put the official in that position.
No. You just avoid the situation entirely.
So it's a teaching moment. Ball on 4th and 10. Over the middle. That one is complete, and that is going to be a Crescent Ford 1st down to keep the drive alive as Tristan Keck comes up with a huge grab.
I mean, you've got to be kidding. Coming into this one, 1 catch. 1 catch for 23 yards on the year.
Clock is rolling. Spike, and that'll stop the clock. 2nd and 10. From the 34. What a ball game.
I mean, everything we thought it was going to be built up to be. We heard from these coaches, what you read, what you've heard from other sources. This was a game to watch within the state, and it has lived up to the billing. Got to work the sidelines here if you're the Eastern Alamance offense.
Ball under pressure, and we have a whistle.
Flag.
And a flag. And that is going to back Eastern Alamance up. That's 2 penalties here late that have been so crucial.
Yeah. We talked in the first half about how Reedsville was hurting themselves with penalties and miscues and mistakes, turnovers. And here late in this game, with everything on the line, it's been Eastern Alamance that seems to have fallen apart.
2nd and 15 from the 38. 9.1 seconds to go.
So
Eastern Alamance, no timeouts.
There should be 11.7 seconds on the clock. There need to be 11.7 seconds back on the clock because they ran the clock.
And it'll be 11 seconds. We're still waiting for it. Not that. Definitely not 1:11.
Nope.
Not that either. And there we go.
Nope.
11.1 is what they're going to give him. Ball working from the shotgun. Chucks it towards the wing, and that one goes out of bounds. Flipping on the coverage. And this might be the final opportunity for Eastern Alamance.
Drop back in coverage. Go to the goal line. Just make sure they don't cross it. It doesn't matter how many yards they get if they don't hit pay dirt.
Ball dropping back. Throws one deep, and it's intercepted!
Who else?
Deontay Neal!
Who else?
His third of the game, and that seals it. Reedsville takes down Eastern Alamance.
What a ball game.
Absolutely tremendous.
Bonkers. I mean, from the first quarter, from the first drive, a game that you could only see in person to actually believe the way that it unfolded. The emotion here tonight, incredible.
This is what you expected when two of these legacy programs linked up. They haven't seen each other in years.
Yeah.
Just such an amazing high school football game. Incredible atmosphere here in Reedsville. And this is what you expect when you come to Community Stadium.
Yeah.
It's one of the toughest places to play in North Carolina. Not very many teams walk out of here with a W. Reedsville comes from behind, here late to win it, 35-28. We're back after this on My 48.
They're about to do it now. Yep. What should I ask him?
Does he love us? No, I'm just kidding. Absolutely. Just kidding. We know that.
15 seconds.
That's next week. Game time 7:30. Ncdhhs will travel to High Point Thursday evening. Game time 17 at Simeon State.
What a ball game in the football capital of North Carolina. Coach, what a game. This game had it all. The quick starts, the comeback, the blocked punt, the interceptions. How do you begin to describe this win for your team?
We said at halftime, championship teams find a way to win, and these group of guys found a way to win, and you know the sky's the limit for it. We've been saying all year long, and this is really the first time I felt like we really came together and play as a unit, and it showed on the scoreboard.
And it showed in that fourth quarter. What was the difference there to come and get the win?
The will to win, and you know, like Coach said, sometimes you got to fight, and we fought like heck in that fourth quarter to get the ball back, and then we made a couple big plays on offense.
Well, this team fought and earned the trophy for this week. Right here presenting the trophy, the Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals. You guys earned it. Congratulations, and enjoy this victory.
What a sight. Down on the field here at Community Stadium, the Reedsville Rams win this one 35-28. It's time for the Carolina Classic Fair Player of the Game. And I got to tell you, Mark, Aiden Mansfield, he just made it happen. But Deontay Neal with 3 interceptions. He outdid Aiden Mansfield, who had 2.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about a guy who competed all night long, the spectacular freshman. We talked so much about how he's got a decision to make down the road between basketball and football, but I got to tell you, football player looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, well, we'll see what basketball season looks like, because this was awfully impressive, and he lived up to the billing. That is for certain. The Carolina Classic Fair, riding, rocking, live stocking. And now it's time for the Roan Law play of the game. And here's Aiden Mansfield, one of his 2 interceptions. Absolutely phenomenal.
And really effectively put this ball game away. Gave his team a chance to go and score the game-winning touchdown to take the lead late in the 4th quarter. Aiden Mansfield was one of the defenders for Reedsville that was flying around all over the place here tonight.
Roan Law triad attorneys who are here to help. Mark, man, when you talk about a high school football game and these young men who are out here, and the young lady who was out here also, giving it everything that they've got, my goodness. I mean, this is what it's about, and this is why these 2 programs are always in the hunt come Thanksgiving time.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's not a player down on that field right now that is not going to sleep like a rock tonight, because they gave it absolutely everything they had and really put it all on the field for everyone to see. Reedsville was on top.
Let's take a look at tonight's West Rock scoring summary. West Rock, your local leader in paper, packaging, and displays. Come join our team at jobs.westrock.com. And you see there the difference. The second half started off pretty slow. The defense is holding goose eggs on the board in the 3rd, but Reedsville able to put up 14 points in the 4th.
Well, and you see it right there, right? 21 in the 1st, 14 in the 4th. Maybe it's how you start and how you finish.
We'd like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors who make these Friday Night Rivals games broadcast possible. Mountain Fried Chicken, Cook Rentals, Capital Metals, and High Point, providing the plaques and trophy scene in tonight's game. Cook's Rental for those high end zone views with their scissor lifts, and Mountain Fried Chicken for providing the crew meal tonight. Mountain Fried Chicken, it's not greasy. And finally, thank you to tonight's participating high schools and their administrators for their support of our Carolina Classic Fair Friday Night Rivals broadcasts. Next game broadcast, join us at 7:30 a week from today, September the 16th, as the Mount Tabor Spartans host the West Forsyth Titans right here on My 48 Sports. It was a heck of a night in the football capital of North Carolina. The Rams and the Eagles battled back and forth, but it was the Rams coming out victorious in this one. For Rebecca Fiorentino and my partner, Mark Covert, and our wonderful My 48 crew, I'm Spencer Turkin saying so long from Reedsville. You've been watching Friday Night Rivals, presented by the Carolina Classic Fair and Roan Law on My 48. Good night, everybody.